are my fucking pills?
Oh yeah! Take more Vicodin, Tiger! That'll help!
Will you just listen to me?
Listen to this!
Ah! You fucking whore!
But where the fuck do you think you're going?
I'm getting the fuck away from you!
Open the door, you motherfucker!
Ooh, yeah, chase after me in the car, Kenny. What are you guys doing? Dude, check it out. It's EA Sports Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11 for Xbox.
Ah! Fuck you, Con!
Stop breaking through the window, Kenny. Oh, I'm gonna crash.
Ah, look what you did, you crazy bitch!
Serves you right, you cheating turd!
Oh, dude, was that a combo move? Oh, dude, here come the cops. We gotta lie to them. Hit X to lie. Wow, I didn't know golf games were this cool. Yeah, dude, EA Sports outdid themselves this time.
Little better on the Rapara scale. I don't hear that at all. I don't hear that at all. Even your breathing is
you
quiet.
Know what I'm doing.
Oh, even your breathing is quiet.
God.
Your breathing.
I don't speak that quietly, do I?
I don't know. We'll have to
just
put that to the
normally?
listeners.
Am I just talking like several decibels below everybody else, and I just don't notice?
Do you want to kick off Shy Fonzie?
You actually do speak quietly.
Oh.
What a revelation. TalkRadar 93.
My life is a lie.
You're not recording yet.
I am recording.
You are?
That was Hitler bringing us into the week of
thanks,
hate.
Hitler.
Wait, we started?
We started.
Oh, that was
TalkRadar 94.
terrible.
No, it's a cold open is what we call that.
Yep.
Get you guys in the zone. Brett is in the zone. How you hanging in there, Brett Elston?
I'm doing pretty great.
That's right.
This is TalkRadar 94, by the way. You
94.
You said 93 in the beginning.
That's impossible. It's TalkRadar 93 and a half. Not funny. Sitting in This is the Week of Hate. Big week at the GamesRadar. We love doing Week of Hates.
Mm-hmm.
Week of Hates. And, talking to you, Christopher Antista. I edit things.
This is Michael Raparez. I edit more things.
This is Brett Elston. I edit the most things.
And sitting in for his hat trick of podcasts, TalkRadar.
Wow, I get theme music?
Yeah.
What was that?
You will find out later. You will find out later what that is.
Well, this is Eric Bratcher, and do I even edit things anymore? I do stuff.
I don't know. I haven't had
I
any
take a
time.
lot of meetings, and I point in a lot of different directions.
We don't talk anymore.
Yeah.
The Week of Hate happened to coincide with what? Certain milestone in the history of the DAR.
Same week we changed the look of GamesRadar. We changed that all, which is bad. Despite the site being a clumsy beast before.
I think that most complaints have quieted down. It's just a new thing people were adjusting to. I started a forum thread asking for questions that you can pose to Eric that he can answer without getting in trouble about the changes afoot at GamesRadar, and everybody else is like, I'm taking a bag at first. It's kind of cool. I like it. Of course, I jizz lots. Jesus.
Well, the big complaint that I saw everybody having in the comments was that it wasn't as organized as the old page was. It didn't have the bucket of previews and the bucket of reviews.
Was that organized?
Well, it's as organized as we get.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we know who clicks on what links on those pages, and the people who are clicking on the latest previews and latest reviews comprise like a fraction of 1%. So I apologize to you guys who liked it that way. I encourage you to click the words on the left side that say reviews and previews, and that will give you the same lists you know and love. But we felt like putting it all in one big stream was going to help everybody else find the things that they weren't normally finding. We do a lot of great previews and reviews that not everybody was finding. So that's why we put it all up in front.
And it was kind of it was definitely a conscious decision to do this. It wasn't like, let's just make it look like a blog. It's like, we're used to scrolling on everything now, from Twitter to Facebook to sites that update consistently throughout the day. Like, now there's a reason to look at Radar throughout the day, every day, instead of coming by once.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing. Just make it seem more live.
And there were some complaints that were like, oh, the attitude and the voice are going to be lessened because of all these other stories. But it's like, no, we as authors get to write more now.
I won't deny that we're finding our legs with the daily format, but seriously, we wanted to say more, and we didn't really have a way to make that visible.
Well, how many times in the last 4 or 5 years have we gotten a single email about something? We're like, I just want to write about this right now, make one joke, and move on. And now we have to do that.
We have to tailor like a feature, sometimes with a couple extraneous entries, in order to get one point across. So now we don't have to do that anymore.
It was just like the way this site was set up. It was hard to write a quick news story with one joke and then just put it up. Like there was no great delivery system, or at least one that we could find out that people could find. Yeah. So that's what this is for.
Yeah. Well, for example, today, this being Wednesday, I wrote a story about a pen. It's clearly Pulitzer Prize winning material.
It's awesome. It had 6 comments.
It's on the front page right now. I can't believe no one has retweeted it yet, but that time will come. But anyway, the point is, like, we couldn't do that in the old site. It just wouldn't show up. It would be gone. So
I think the only thing that will even come close to taking a hit is the TalkRadar page that none of you visit anyway. Yeah. Because now we can actually post pictures of what we're doing in the office on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But please do keep commenting. I noticed last week's TalkRadar had like 57 comments, which is
good.
Which is really good.
It was awesome. Thank you for the birthday thingies. Oh goodness.
It also wouldn't hurt to restart your computer and download the site over and over every time.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. Not the site, I'm sorry, the podcast.
Yes, do that too.
That would be good.
What you should do is your grandmother who doesn't use the internet, just make the podcast page her homepage. Yeah. She'll never know. She'll think it's AOL or something. Yeah, click away.
Oh, these colors.
Go to her soap opera forums. Your grandma sucks, by the way. Sorry. It is the week of hate. This is appropriate. Right, Hitler? Yeah.
What is he doing?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I think he's being run over by a cat bus.
I think he's taking one in the gut box.
I don't think you're having an appreciation of World War II era games, because that's when this was made, right?
Yeah, something like
Somewhere
that.
between 1942 and 1983.
Yeah.
So it's light bulbs hitting each other?
The long war.
Wasn't it the Wolfenstein?
Oh, Eric, not yet? No.
Shot?
That doesn't mean you're wrong. That just means don't jump the gun.
I'm sorry, I wasn't given the syllabus for the evening.
We have...
Nobody was.
We have... It's the week of hate. We have what? The top 7... Things gamers love to hate. And it's a lot. One of them is us.
It is, you know what, and this just tells me that we gamers are a very hateful crew.
Yes.
How the heck, how on earth did we do a top 7 things gamers hate and Jack Thompson isn't on the list?
Is he in the pano?
No.
No?
No, Uwe Boll is.
Uwe Boll is.
That's
random clip art guy that we use every other week.
That before? I love Jack Thompson. Like, he's hilarious. He's completely ineffectual. He's been neutered.
Yeah.
He doesn't pose any harm, and the more he comes up, the funnier I think it is.
Well, I used to think he was the best friend video games had because he was constantly embarrassing people who were fond of bagging on video games.
Yeah.
You get the pro video game guy like Adam Sessler or something on NPR, and then they trot out Jack Thompson, and he immediately makes an idiot out of himself. So anyone listening is going, whose side are you on? I pick the guy who's not clinically insane.
Still, I miss JT.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna put what top 7 things gamers hate. Hold on, I have a required button. Number 7. Oh, people love those.
Oh man, do they?
Number 7. What is number 7? It's reviews. Things gamers love to hate.
Review
scores. Should we just throw this to Michael? Review scores. It's very fun to hit a review score.
Well, it's especially fun when hating the sites that use the 100-point scale, where it's like this game gets an 8.8, and that game got an 8.6, and then invariably you'll get the complaints.
The fans are outraged.
The fans explode, and it's always it's not like that. And it's always the worst of it with the loud Sony fanboys, the loud 360 fanboys, the loud Nintendo fanboys. But the thing I hate the most is when they're like when we do it on Radar. If I review a game and it gets a 9, like unsolicited, someone will just say this would have got a 10 if it was a 360 exclusive. It's like. Are you real? Like,
that's what I don't understand.
Are you actually paid to be a dickhead, or are you just like live with blinds surrounding your fucking face forever? Like,
well, that's the thing with reviews, isn't it? No matter what score you give, no matter what game it is, somebody thinks you're on the take, completely biased, you hate everything, or you're just plain stupid. Like that's just the way of things.
We're kind of carpetbagging
Doesn't matter
here because this is totally something we do as well. It's tell me there hasn't been a time. Tell me that you look at like Jim Sterling's review of Final Fantasy 13 and say,
come up.
"Oh, well, that's just his opinion."
Yeah.
That's good that he published that. None of you have ever said that.
No, but I think you're picking out the one hugely isolated case.
I'll pick out one that I did when with him again when he said that Saboteur was a much better game than Assassin's Creed 2. I fucking exploded internally. But
the thing is,
getting upset about a review.
I think the thing people get hung up on, sorry to be actually analytical about it, but I think there's a difference between a review where it's objectively written and analytic, like someone is actually critiquing the game, and the score is maybe an 8 instead of a 7 or something like that, and a situation in which the reviewer's points are clearly so different from everybody else's that he's not trying to serve the readers anymore. He's serving himself, and that's that new games journalism versus old games journalism thing. My own personal opinion that I think you guys all share, I certainly hope so. Is a review, you're supposed to put your own thoughts on it, but the reader is there to figure out if they would like the game. They don't give a damn if you like the game. They want to know if they would like it. So once you stop looking at it from almost like I'm a doctor figuring out what the game has, whether it's sick or healthy or whatever, once you get away from that and start just saying, I like redheads, this game is a blonde, it gets a 4. At that point, you're not doing anyone any good, and you're just stirring the pot and poking the bear. And I think Jim Sterling found that out very quickly.
I certainly don't think I don't know he is doing it for the sake of hits and traffic. Like I believe he believes the scores he gives, but I do. I mean,
but at some point you have to be able to separate the things you like or dislike from the things you believe your readership will like.
Yeah, exactly. Like the example I keep bringing up is PN3. Like I would not run out. Like to me, that game was a 9 because of XXXX. But I could not give that game a 9.
Right.
And then have people go out spend $50 on it in 2003 and then come back and be like, this game sucks.
Right.
Chris's headset.
That was the sound of Chris's headset.
Also,
you're exactly right.
While he ran to get a beer.
You might love Piano 3, however you want to pronounce it.
I will.
Because you love the animations and you love the futuristic style, but you also are smart enough to say, wow, the controls are kind of gimp.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be bugged by that.
But for some reason I wasn't, but I'm like, but this is going to piss off so many people.
Right, and you're aware of that, and as a good reviewer, you would mention that.
But here we are complaining about review scores.
That's because we hate them.
But I didn't bring that up. I keep seeing a lot of discussion. People keep like, what do you think about this discussion? I don't even want to name any names, but just this internal...
Name me. Just say me.
You've seen them before where like a bunch of game journalists sit around and talk about the merits of reviews and the ethics, and I think not only is it boring, it's
N-Guy had that symposium of games reviews.
Didn't want to name N-Guy, but it's not only boring, I think it's bordering on like narcissistic at this point. It's beyond an internal conversation you'd have in an office.
It's navel-gazing.
It is, because the most important game review still doesn't matter. Because no one outside of that very specific circle will know what ever happened.
Right.
And that's why I'm kind of like...
I don't know. I think we've always kept the very simple philosophy that games reviews, there's, of course, accurate, but they should also be fun to read.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, that's a really good point. People read them for entertainment value as much as they do educational value, which I think that's where Jim Sterling gets a pass, is because his Final Fantasy review was very entertaining, provoked incredible amounts of conversation, whether they wanted to lynch him or not. So he did his job. One of its jobs.
And I can definitely understand people who do want to read reviews, who don't want jokes, who don't want funny things, who just want a hardcore, cold analysis of it.
Right.
And I understand that too, and that's why we don't do that, because you can get that a dozen different ways.
You can get that
so
everywhere.
boring.
That's why we try to do...
We already discussed, like, needing your entertainment over-intellectualized like that. You're allowed to enjoy something without...
It's the difference between the Nightly News and the Daily Show.
Yeah.
You get the news in both places, but which one would you rather watch?
I guess I'd wish we were as good as the Daily Show. It doesn't I got this YouTube user. Maybe I should say, you all right?
You can actually probably delete that out.
Okay. They got this YouTube user. He pretty much sums up everything.
Because there's no reason for these people to be this biased against the PS3. I mean, it's kind of evident. Like I said, I don't have proof of this, but it's in my opinion, that's a very illogical reasoning. Because why would these publishments be so biased against the PS3 for no apparent reason?
It's true.
Why these publishments be so biased?
It's true. Publishments have had it too good for too long.
I think we need to bring it down.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We'll move on. We'll move on.
I do want to say.
No, I
one
wasn't
thing
trying to
before
rush
we
you
move
along. I
on.
just mean the publishment needs to be brought down.
Yes.
Those in power.
Clearly. Yes, publishment. I just want to say one thing. I may be 20 years late in noticing this, but Krusty's eyes here look exactly like a pair of boobs.
What? Simpsons.
I know.
All their eyes look like boobs.
Oh,
Just
you
keep
mean
it
they're
perfect.
round and they have
Specifically
pupils.
Krusty, who also had boobs in one episode.
Yes, it
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Number 6.
All right. Segue. Shit selling games. Shit games selling better than proper.
Wait. Hey, Michael, did you notice the hair looks kind of like cotton candy?
Ooh.
Bastard. Come on. Visual?
Sorry.
Visual. Number 6 on the top 7
Oh, God.
things gamers love to hate is shit games selling better than proper games. And fuck, I more than anybody am guilty of this. If I'm without an intro for an article, I will go look up the information and see what awful game outsold the game I liked.
Oh, yeah.
And kick off the article like that because it's true, it's factual, but sometimes that information is misleading anyway.
In what way?
Because as an example, I could say this year, Wii Fit Plus outsold BioShock 2, Final Fantasy 13, God of War 3.
Well, it's been out several months longer.
It said this year.
Just the same, my blood
Just
pressure
this year it has
went
sold
up,
more. Sold more than that. But I looked at the data tally, and there was only one for BioShock 2, which has been out for what, like a month and a half, like a month?
About a month, yeah.
So there's only one piece of data for BioShock 2. It's just a bunch of other stuff you can't really tell. And in the long run, also on these top 10 lists of this year is still New Super Mario Bros. DS.
Right, it's still selling.
It's still selling. So some of these games,
I'm
slow
convinced
burn.
there's a country somewhere in Africa where you can trade that game for food. How does it sell for so long?
I bet
who doesn't have that?
I bet it's
yet?
the entire country of Africa.
It stuns me. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, the games you don't like there's always going to be some game you don't like that sells more than the other ones. I get pissed about it more than anybody, and only because I had to review GTA Chinatown Wars. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Yep.
And then just watch it tank. Watch Elite Club Penguin Force outsell it. The latest Pets 2 hamster incest, and all that shit outsold one of the best portable games I've seen.
Well, and Wii particularly is a freaking case study on that.
Yeah.
You could take all of the good Wii games and add them together, and Mario and Sonic the Olympics still outsold.
That's the
all
bad
of
one on
them.
the list. I mean, Wii Fit's not for me. I get why it sells.
Yeah.
But Mario and Sonic is the only one I'd call not great. That doesn't deserve to be there. The other Wii games that do sell are
Just Dance.
Well, I mean, those sell, but in terms of they didn't cost anything to produce, and they're instantly released at $19.99.
Right.
And they fly off the shelves in that respect, but it doesn't sell millions like BioShock 2 and Final Fantasy 13.
Just Dance, I think.
Just Dance was the 5th best-selling game of last year, or some stupid thing.
That is your fault, Eric.
And what else?
And there's no game. It's music plays while you swing a remote.
It's
Boogie.
Not even.
No?
Not even.
There's not even there's barely even a prompt. It's it's like an infant watching, what are they called? Those awful thing, not Teletubbies, which I don't even want to go into.
Baby
Einstein.
Booba? Those fucking, it's just like an infant or Baby Einstein videotapes of just oh god.
What was it you were telling me about? You saw one, it was like a sock puppet vomiting whipped cream onto another one?
It was a sock puppet, those Baby Einstein videos.
Wow, that sounds like Syphil and Ollie or something.
They were videos made in the late 90s and early 2000s. They were supposed to be sock puppets and things happening. They're supposed to stimulate your child's brain in their infancy, and then they found out. Oh, actually, this is a crock of shit and doesn't do anything. But the one when I was at Toys R Us, I happened to walk by the screen because it was.
You worked at Toys R Us?
Yeah. They're near the electronic section where I
haven't
worked.
heard that before.
And it was a sock puppet. It looked like it was blowing a sundae. And then all of a sudden, whipped cream starts blasting out of the top of the TV screen, and it's spraying all over the sock puppet's face like it's getting a fucking facial.
Was there a bunch of children in the audience screaming Bukkake?
No, but it was that's the thing is there's no music at all. Take this in.
I can say Bukkake, right, boss?
Absorb this.
I don't even know what it means.
There you go. There's your defense.
And then the sock puppet
That's
looks
Japanese,
at you covered
right?
in whipped cream. It looks like it's just been violated. And I've watched this snuff movie of somebody's hand getting raped.
If it happens to a sock or a hand, does it count as a facial?
Because the face was drawn on.
I think it does.
Kind of.
Contextually, according to the narrative,
right?
I think
Add
Contextually.
Add that to the wiki. We have solved the hand facial problem.
We are good.
So number 5.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
can I just interject one quick thing? I just want to
Hold on, let me go back.
Number 6.
Go back to number.
I just want to thank, Red just said the wiki, I want to thank whoever corrected the spelling of my name, which has been wrong on the wiki until like a week ago.
Oh dear.
And
Eric
who
Bercher?
also noted that I no longer work at PTOM.
Eric Bertram?
So, yeah.
You did work at PTOM recently, though. That's a legitimate mistake.
I did both. I never left GamesRadar.
It sure as fuck felt like it.
That's just because I gave everybody else my work.
Number 5 is DLC, and I wish I could come up with some good example, but yeah, like
Horse armor.
Horse armor. Well, horse armor. It's all stuff we bitched about before, and I think they've gotten pretty good with DLC. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2's DLC would seem to piss everybody off.
Yeah, the
It was
stimulus
only the price.
package.
I
the
paid
price.
160 gamer points this morning to buy 3 outfits in Mass Effect 2.
Jesus.
I'd say the system is still broken.
I think, but that's why they do it, because that literally, like,
I-
part of that shit is that's a character creator.
Yeah,
like
I
most
did it,
games
I
include
did it
that
because
for
I feel
free.
like it's my job, but in a normal real world, I would not pay $2 for extra clothes.
That is
Like,
ridiculous.
But then, like, to be fair, BioWare's given us 2 or 3 pieces of free DLC for Mass Effect 2
That's free?
already. Yeah, Zaid was free.
Well, that's the stupid thing. The Hammerhead missions were free,
Yeah. Oh, really?
but the clothes cost $2.
Bring Down the Sky was free.
That was
No.
that was
That was
money.
Star Wars
Mass Effect 1,
Galaxies.
No, he's talking about Zazie.
Think about Mass Effect 2.
I
the
see.
DLC character.
But the thing is, Bring
and
Down the
also-
Sky was good DLC. And
Was it
Yes,
free?
it was.
No, it was. You had to pay for it, but I mean, it was a reasonable price for what you got, and it was a cool
I don't know, that's
mission.
funny,
And
That was worth paying for.
I move on. You know, of course, we all move on very
Some
quickly
DLC
from
is
games.
good, some is crap,
Yes.
and some shouldn't.
I think the very
I tend to
beginning-
overlook all of it. Like I didn't play.
Yeah.
Like even though I loved Mirror's Edge, the 2008 Prince of Persia, and whatever
Yeah.
else, like I never buy the DLC add-on because I'm like, if it wasn't good enough to be in the game, I don't care.
Yeah, I hope they
Mass
realize
Effect's
that.
the only thing that
Yeah.
everything I have to have, and that's that's my problem.
I bought a Donald Duck shirt.
I bought a Mass Effect shirt.
I can't spend money on that.
No, it's just like that. That is just advertising. I have too much money.
Yeah.
I spend money, actual money, on worthless shit.
But I love Mass Effect.
I love it too,
Michael,
Eric,
there are
but
certain people
I
who are only
needed
going
that
to see me
shirt.
online. I would like to present myself.
as a person who spends money on
Hey,
garbage.
But you're also. But,
That's all it says.
But then-
That's all it says. It's like, check out this helmet. I spent actual money on this helmet.
But then-
oh my god!
Hold on, let me lower you for the first time ever.
First time ever. But then next
Not
time,
speaking softly now, are you?
but then the next time an electronics store goes out of business in a 10-mile radius, you'll go buy everything they have and never,
Yes.
and knowingly,
true.
knowingly never play it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
By
that's-
damnation, just so you can complain about it. Don't talk to me about
But
buying
at least
crap.
I'm not advertising that except
All
on the
right.
podcast.
All right, and your Xbox Live friends list always still burns me. We did move on.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4, movie tie-ins.
Tie-ins. This is where you get to talk in a reference to the number 2 about how the Cars racing game outsold almost
Everything
else
that
came out
year.
there.
Those are
Like
the
number
first
2 or
articles
3.
I ever did
Yeah.
for this site.
I reviewed Cars for the DS.
Huh?
It was.
Tell us about it.
Speaking of which, you know what outsold both Iron Man? I'm sorry. I just spoiled my own thing.
What?
You know what
Man.
what outsold Dead Space and Prince of Persia?
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
See, I'm really on the ball today.
Oh, that's so gross.
What? That happened?
That happened, and that Iron Man game was so bad.
Maybe
because
this
The
I'm
news
like,
is there's another one
this is number
coming, and
6.
it looks just as bad.
The thing-
oh, it's just as bad.
This is the one thing I'm like, okay,
I
we're all
probably can't
we're all
say
allowed
definitively that it's.
we're all allowed to get. If you're reading our site, odds are you don't like movie tie-ins either.
Yeah.
And
Because if you're reading our site, you're smart enough to know which end of the
But
Wii
the thing
remote
is,
to point
we-
at the television.
We all know the movie tie-ins generally suck, and there's the one every 6 years that doesn't, like GoldenEye or Riddick or
Lord of the Rings: Two Towers was okay.
Yeah, but Two Towers is the example of. It also feels like once every 3 to 4 years, I get sucked into a mediocre one and beat it anyway because
Yeah.
it's just mediocre enough, and I like because the Transformers game last year, Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh.
I beat it, both storylines, Autobot and Decepticon, even though it wasn't
was
that
fun.
it's not. I know it's not terrible. I just hate Transformers, and I hate that fucking movie.
Oh, I still haven't seen the movie. I refuse.
I got so mad at you over that game because I was convinced that the multiplayer was going to be really good because the different robots were like different classes in Team
Yeah.
Fortress.
Retarded.
We got a bunch of them and we fired it up in the office, and within half an hour, Brett had found the one robot that couldn't be beaten by anybody.
I quit.
The freaking helicopter
playing.
with guided
Yeah, it
missiles.
was the helicopter blackout. I think it's the helicopter, and it's like,
oh man!
it's like, what the fuck? I'm a helicopter versus cars.
Well, you had guided missiles.
And guided
they
missiles.
couldn't be dodged.
And it's
it was
like
ridiculous. You
This
couldn't
should-
target him. You couldn't get away
Shouldn't
from
be
him.
in the same area. Same can't be said for Transformers Sabotage. War Sabotage.
War Sabotage.
War Sabotage. Yet to be seen.
Yeah, we talked to them during GDC.
Yeah.
That the new Transformers game will have multiplayer, and did they say DICE was working on it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, DICE, like a multiplayer co-op. What?
Doesn't EA own DICE?
Oh no, that isn't true.
Yeah, it's in the podcast last week.
I forgot.
A couple weeks ago.
DICE is doing some other game.
Yeah, they are.
multiplayer.
They're doing, well, obviously Battlefield. Is
Michael,
it that
go.
Lord of the Rings game?
No.
No,
No.
Oh my
That's
God.
not EA. That's Warner Brothers.
that is a Warner Brothers game now.
The new the Lord of the Rings one. It's on P-Tom's cover.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers.
I don't know. EA lost that license. They usually cling to shit like
Don't they
that.
still have that Aragorn's Quest license, whatever it is?
The thing is, Lord of the Rings, EA had the movie license, not the book license.
Right.
Oh, this is
And
the book
what-
license.
Well, no, I think it's the movie, but Warner Brothers. Wait, did they make the
They,
movie?
they just made
Vivendi-
Conquest with the movie license.
Yeah.
Vivendi rather infamously made several book license games.
Yeah. Oh gosh, those were terrible. Wow.
Like just straight up like The Hobbit or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, The Hobbit, The Fellowship of the
I was-
Rings, and there was a War of the Ring game that basically just ripped off scenes from the movie.
I got a demo of the Fellowship of the Rings game at E3 when they were revealing it, and Frodo was in the room with me.
Ooh, Elijah?
Yeah.
He's short, right? But he's dreamy.
He's like 5'6".
I heard his eyes will pierce
And
you.
I'm sure he will grow when he hits puberty.
I'll
remember
talk that
seeing
way
him-
about Huck Finn. He was the good son.
I remember seeing
He's
him
very
at,
quite polite, but he's
What are we talking about? Why are we here? How did we get here? Oh, movie tie-ins.
movie tie-ins.
It's all right.
They
We're
all
still on
suck,
point. We're still on
and
point.
we somehow managed to spend 10 minutes talking about that.
We're still on point. We can move on to number 3 if Elson's done researching.
I will say though,
It's
while
not
we're on,
like
no,
I-
I did it again. I did it again. While we're talking about Transformers,
I
anyone
know
who has
he-
an iPhone, go buy the Transformers G1 game because it's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
No, like the guy told us
Oh
in
my
the
God.
fucking interview like two podcasts ago, and I can't remember what he said. And it's obviously it can't be DICE because Activision and EA.
What's a good Activision multiplayer game?
Call of Duty,
Modern
Warfare.
The Dude. Yes,
A couple
the
people
Dude.
play that one.
I know, but I don't think Infinity Ward is working on Transformers multiplayer.
No.
Yeah, I mean the single player game is the main campaign is 3-player co-op on the whole game, drop in, drop out. But as far as the verses, I can't.
All right. We really have to move
You know what's
on.
great is there are listeners right now listening to this going,
I know your podcast better than you.
Yeah, that is true.
okay,
Number 3, non-gamers. And maybe there should have been a parenthetical here in the context of gaming. Non-gamers suck. Fucking hate non-gamers.
Yeah. well they just don't get it.
They don't get it. Which is
Especially all of our wives and girlfriends.
odd, because no one's like,
except for Brett's.
what you reading for?
Yeah,
Bu-
it's
books.
just like why you consuming a medium?
Yeah.
Oh, you watching a movie? I'm gonna come talk to you. Now.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit, what is that, TV? Brag it.
Yeah.
Bleep that,
Well,
Jesus.
the only thing that's bad about non-gamers is that gaming is sort of still this pariah. Like, okay, if you spend 3 hours a day playing football, you're going to be in the NFL. You know, if you
Right.
spend 3 hours a day reading books, you're going to be a rocket scientist. You spend 3 hours a day watching TV, you're just like everybody else. You spend 3 hours a day playing video games, you are some sort of socially inept outcast.
Yeah,
and
it
clearly,
doesn't-
you can't have a conversation with a real person.
It doesn't make any sense, and
We'll hear
And-
more of that
and
when we
if you
discuss
watch
your
3
nerdy
hours-
moments.
and
If you watch 3 hours of football, you're passionate about your hobby.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
and
do
then
that every Sunday.
And then the sports nerds will sound just as idiotic and ravenous as any game forum, quoting minutia and statistics back at each other. Like
I hate sports that they're allowed to get away with being the biggest nerds in the universe. I don't get to wear face paint when I go watch someone play Halo. That's some bullshit.
See, would you be? I think it would be safe to say that this is one category in which Korea has us beaten.
What, the fandom?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
In Korea, video game athletes are literally worshipped like athletes.
This is true.
it's also, I mean, there's more prestige to it in Japan
And that may
than
happen.
the U.S. at least. But I mean,
And I
Like
don't
the,
want
one guy, like the one guy who's famous because he can press a button 18 times a second.
I don't want to break any
it's
hearts.
Master Higgins.
I don't want to
Well,
break any hearts.
To be fair, watching other people play video games is less boring in Asia.
It is when you only get to have electrical power for 12 hours a day. Oh man, he must be a millionaire.
But also, it's just the interactions with non-gamers, the most notable one was like when I was over at your house, Chris, and your non-gaming friends were there and were like,
God, don't they suck?
which one's the Xbox? Like, they just had no idea.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
They literally didn't know which thing on the... and I don't want to be like, they didn't know.
That's
go
when you
home.
give them a fork and tell them it's the power outlet, and they should.
Yeah, but it's just like you need to accept that this is the way pop culture is moving, and you can either be a part of it or
I
not.
know what an Android looks like. I'll never own one.
Yeah,
I know what it looks like.
Do you really got to go sip your fucking wine and be snooty about shit the rest of your life, or can you just be like everyone else? And...
It's not even that. And good thing they're not listening, because they are my friends. But those people are fucking stupid. And- damn it.
Let's just say that
That's not really a qualification for being your friend, though, right?
No,
it's
not at all.
generally like
Straight.
games are looked upon as not worthy of your time when it's like, well, you're stupid.
Worthy of your
I can
time.
make a bigger argument, but I think we want to move on.
Meanwhile, you saw Valentine's Day, so shut the fuck up.
These are the people watching freaking Jersey Shore.
Yeah, these are also the people who come over to my house because we TiVo True Blood for them.
Oh.
You are a moron. You are a moron.
Number
two.
And they can't buy a TiVo because they'll ruin their...
You really
their
have
own-
to start
no
respecting...
love for Suki Stack.
We have to start respecting the numbers a little more.
Number 2.
We have one more to go.
We're on number
Actually,
3.
don't we have
Number-
two more to go?
We have
we're on
number two.
Number 2, you're right.
There we go. Respect the numbers.
I'm sorry.
Number 2, casual games versus motion controls. I have never said word one about this in any capacity.
Yeah.
I love
I find
motion
that hard to
control.
believe.
No, it is true. I've done like several billion articles and spent probably a 24-hour time period on this stupid show bitching about motion control.
Looking at
You know
these
what? I want to
pictures-
tell you a funny story. You know how you did that? This is quick. Sorry, Brett. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You know how PlayStation debuted the big move thing?
I do.
And you did the quick story, putting the circles over the Move and Wii controllers. I got a call the next day from our publisher.
Website has
Hey,
a
the
publisher?
Nintendo rep is here, and I want to show him that cute story Chris did. Can you help me find it on the website?
Oh.
And I said, really? Have you read the whole thing?
Could have said no.
So I directed her to it, and we haven't been shut down yet, so I guess it's okay.
Okay, Jesus Christ. That was a trivia contest where the final answer was revealed as who gives a shit.
That's correct.
Who gives a shit?
And that is the only correct answer.
Yeah, it's just I say this the same week that I reviewed Red Steel 2 and gave it a 9 and said, wow, these motion controls
hey,
work great.
Yeah.
But
I
it was
wasn't-
a
I
case
wasn't-
where
That's the exception.
I wasn't
proves
just
the
being
rule.
devil's advocate. There are cases where this can work.
it
and
can
this can
work.
enhance things.
And to me, Red Steel 2, well, I'll get into it more later, but it was a great case of don't do what works. Don't cram a thing that was already there into motion controls. Build a game around them and make them work. And I went through the whole game and I
I
loved
think it's
it.
almost intriguing
Loved
that they had they had another game that was essentially a failure to
Yeah.
to base that knowledge off of, because a lot of people don't do that. They don't try again
Yeah.
with motion control.
Why they named it Red Steel 2 is beyond me.
Yeah, it
there's
doesn't
no
seem to have any
there's
relation.
no connection, and it could have been anything else.
But you have a good point. I mean, they always try to cram motion control into everything. I've been in product demos where, well, one in particular that I remember where the person demoing was like, "Hey, how would you do motion controls for this game?" Who cares?
With a
Just don't.
With a
I
Wii
lost it.
remote?
With a DualShock 3.
And the thing, I don't mind casual games in general because it's a matter of time. As games became more popular, they
Yes,
need
that's
to
cool.
have more money more money has to be coming in to sustain an industry that big. I'm fine with Nintendo putting out cooking, teaching, and personal walking trainer and all that shit. So they get money to then go spend it on a cool thing.
Yeah.
Problem is Nintendo is still releasing like the one cool game a year.
Well, the problem with that philosophy, and I've held that for a long time, like Ubisoft releases those crazy pet games with seasons, like tigers and babies.
Right.
And those actually fund good games like Prince of Persia and Tom Clancy and that sort of thing.
Right.
But the problem is a lot of companies don't really see the need, if they're selling a lot of those crap casual games, to actually spend any money on legitimate boundary pushing games.
And
Ubisoft is an exception.
I can't prove this about Ubisoft, but they make a fuck ton of money off Imagine and Pets.
Yeah.
And I do think they take kind of extreme chances with their core games, and I wonder if that allows them to do so.
Yeah, it's exactly. It funds it.
We good?
I was going to say something. I forgot.
Go for it, Elston.
I forgot what it was.
Was it about Ubisoft?
But that doesn't mean that you have to buy them as a discerning user.
Yeah,
player.
I don't know. It's like no, I got nothing. I was in the middle of a thought and I just totally lost it.
Let's move into number one.
Let's just do number one.
Number one.
Uwe Boll movies.
Uwe Boll movies.
Uwe Boll.
Uwe.
Yui.
Yui. He's a
Pronounced Yui here in the U.S.
So he punched a guy because he said his movies were bad.
He punched several
guys in a
most
row.
of them didn't actually say his movies were bad. Most of them just signed up anyway.
I would
because
have.
they all thought it was a publicity stunt, and they weren't actually going to get the shit kicked out of them, which they did.
Well, it was a publicity stunt. I think the thing that was conveniently left out of the invitation, which I also got and declined, was the fact that Uwe Boll is a trained boxer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, he was an amateur boxer. Didn't make his
I would
living.
have trained for like weeks. I've been eating so much chocolate.
I'm pretty sure he was in college.
Punching and swinging.
I think he boxed in college. Or the concentrate, wherever he comes from.
He's from Boxton.
The compound.
Sure.
That explains the accent.
He's from Gloverberg.
Boxton?
Yeah.
Boxton.
Wow.
That's not what happened.
I think I'm feeling the same way about Uwe Boll. Uwe Boll, Michael.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ. No, whatever.
Well, that is a right to be called what he wants.
Well,
Does he?
That is his name.
So.
He has a right to take. He doesn't seem to have.
If you've listened to his many inane commentaries, he always introduces them. Hello, I am Uwe Boll.
Uwe Boll.
If he wanted to be called whatever he chooses, he should make better games and check an American name.
I have a right to remember games the way I want to. I want my blood
It's
rain.
a free country. I can call that commie whatever I want to.
I don't want my blood rain in the Old West. He defied my wishes. Oh God, did you see that? Yes, he.
Of course, Michael saw it. He wrote the art. Remember?
Yeah.
That was the line. That was the line.
Thank
of the
you,
movie?
Mr. Boll, Dr. Boll, for continuing to employ Chris Coppola and keeping him out of the death
Where did I
in
see
the
him?
gutter, which he would probably be suffering without.
Did you bring any of those sound effects?
I am currently missing all of that stuff.
Damn it.
The hard drive has
Currently
disappeared from my desk.
bolus.
I'm bolus. But
Well, we have all the-
Somewhere John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins are glad that
Yeah.
Uwe Boll is making games because their movie is no longer the worst video game movie ever made.
Well, we had we have an article up that's the top 7 worst scenes in Uwe Boll movies.
Yes.
And we went over it in TalkRadar 20, which is generally considered one of the better ones.
If you do worst movie scenes into Google, it'll be on the first page.
Yeah.
That shit is popular.
Definitely, like, if you haven't listened to 20 by some magic chance, which you probably have, but 20 is the one where we really went into Uwe Boll movies, and it was tons of great audio, and it's just everybody's on fire. It's really great.
I'm at
Which is why I'm happy for him to keep making movies.
Yes, I'm at the
They're-
Jack Thompson point with him. What would I do if he stopped making game movies?
That's the thing. He needs to
It's
make
too much fun.
something else now because Far Cry was ages ago.
Tunnel Ratch, yo.
Well, Tunnel Rats isn't technically a game movie, although he made a game of his movie.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. And it's
Jesus.
supposed to be terrible.
No way.
I haven't seen
You'll
Far
probably get it
Cry.
free
Is
on
it
the
as
Blu-ray.
Is it as bad as Postal?
I don't know. It has an inglorious
Far Cry?
bad. Til
No,
Schweiger.
it-
Til Schweiger.
Yeah, Til Schweiger, and he's one of the only good things about it.
Mhm.
It's a pretty horrible movie. Probably one of his less horrible movies, though. Good by the standards of Uwe Boll, terrible by the standards of film.
I want to. I think we should just pull the recent block of games and see if we can suggest Uwe Boll a new franchise to make. I think Dark Sector would be a great Uwe Boll movie.
That's too
Hell
high.
yeah.
That's too high too many special effects.
Yeah, but
That's exactly why he'd fuck it up.
He did okay with Alone in the Dark.
I took the
He's by
story,
his
I put it on
standards.
paper, I folded it and cut the corners.
It takes place in
Now it is Snowflake.
It's now Snowflake. See,
is he
unique.
Russian now?
Slowly becoming
Like
I
no
go
other.
back.
It takes place
I'm
in
gonna
Eastern
nominate
Europe.
Just
I
Cause
moved
2.
to Vancouver.
Just Cause 2?
That's what I
can see that
nominate.
happening.
Just
Oh,
Cause
Just
2.
Cause would be really good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Island location, he could
But
get some.
okay, no matter what the location is, he will always film in the forests around Vancouver because that's where it's cheap to film.
Cheap as balls.
Well, Australia's pretty
That's
cheap
right.
too. They had
Far
New Zealand.
Cry. Far Cry had a tropical setting. He filmed it in a Vancouver pine forest. How do you fuck that up?
Right next to In the Name of the King, right in the same spot.
Exactly.
Well, that's where House of the Dead was. All the sets were still there.
I like the
Aussie
I like
Nights
just like
go
the
to
title
set
Warehouse
A.
of the Dead. Warehouse the Dead. House the Dead. The House the Dead movie without a house.
That's
That's the 4-hour version.
that is a hilariously
house.
terrible movie.
Yeah.
The 9-minute fucking violence montage.
Everybody gets bullet time. Everybody gets bullet
And
time.
the great thing is just the random appearance of game footage. Just
Yeah.
is this some sort of artistic statement, or did you sneeze on the machine?
The thing is, I need him to make new movies because I'm completely worn out on hating his old ones. I think
Yeah.
I've said everything I can possibly
You're tired
say, and I need to say something new.
Oh, that.
Like right now.
An outlet for your hate.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What?
I'm looking at you, Uwe Bowls.
Please, it's Uwe
IMDb.
Balls.
Uwe Balls.
Oh, man.
Blood Rain, The Third Reich.
Oh, wow.
Coming soon.
Oh, man.
It's in post-production.
Now that they
too
can
late to
actually
stop.
They can make Nazi movies in Germany now.
Now, I can't guarantee that this is what I think it is, but somewhere in between the movies Stoic and Darfur are Rampage.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see.
Rampage.
Make a movie about Rampage.
Make
I
a movie
would
about
watch that.
shitty wolf and lizard costumes punching buildings.
Final Storm. I haven't. This is all directed. He directed 5 movies in 2009. God, what a machine!
It only takes him about a week.
Wasn't that because of the loophole or whatever it was that he has
I don't
in
believe
Germany?
that for a second. Like, there's no way he found like the loophole in the fucking producers, and he managed to make bad movies. And I get the hefty tax write-off. I keep doing. No, he could probably put his money somewhere else, and he could direct a fucking commercial. Instead, I see Zombie Massacre and Blackout, the film.
Well, there was a game called Blackout, but it was a really obscure Xbox and PS2
there's also
I think it was on Newgrounds exclusively.
There's also a great band named Blackout.
You know what? Break time.
Never say that again.
Break time. Uwe Boll, we miss you. Come back to us when we get back. New releases. Ooh, some new hate, some classic hate, game deals, and I love it. Your nerdiest stories ever. Followed by question of the week.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is your WWE diva and Playboy cover girl, Ashley. Go to WWE.com. Check out the revealing interviews on GamesRadar.com. Check out GamesRadar.com. GamesRadar.com.
Mario, wait!
What?
How come you always get to go first?
This again? Look, there's 8 worlds to go. I really have to save the princess.
And that's another thing. How come I always have to come along to save your girlfriend?
Bro, you're my wingman.
Maybe that's it. Or maybe I'm sick of being your sidekick and I want my own adventure.
Hello? What about the Luigi's Haunted Mansion? Or are you still too scared?
I'm not scared. That game was just awful. Even Luigi didn't like it.
Blue, it was a GameCube. All of those games were terrible. I don't know what you're complaining about. Remember Mario 2? You could jump higher in that one.
Yeah, and the princess could fly too because that was a dream you had. You dreamt that you were your brother, but then you were your girlfriend. And then you were pulling the bombs out of the ground. What do you think Freud would have to say about that one?
Is this about the time in the Smash Brothers when I threw the barrel and accidentally knocked you off of the platform? Because I told you, I got no idea what's going on in that game. Honestly, I'm just throwing punches.
Oh, you are so arrogant. Everyone know about Mario and how he's so great at the kart racing and the tennis and the golf and the baseball and the soccer and the painting and the practicing of medicine, but nobody ever make a game about Luigi's charity work. I'm gonna go home and play with Yoshi.
Maybe don't.
Why not?
He thought he saw a ghost or something, and he just freaked out, and he jumped off a cliff.
You let our pet jump off a cliff?
We can hatch another one.
That's not the point. Why do you always get everything, even in the Mario Brothers movie?
I told you, we'll never talk about that. It never happened.
Look out!
Damn you, Green Mario!
My hero!
Ooh! Huh? Look at this. I heard they're hiring at the Sega.
See the full video at collegehumor.com.
Oh, we know TalkRadar's awesome.
Why does everyone hate Battle Network? Because I do.
Saints Row 2 lets you totally shoot piss out of a car.
If you're listening and you were born in 1997, that is bad, and we hate you.
And to top off Michael's sentiment.
But we try not to get a big head about it.
I am the third revelation. I am the third revelation.
But we need your help to spread the word and keep the Carnival of Filth alive and on the air.
Would you kindly?
Do your friends at TDAR a huge favor and tell your friends about the show. Review us on iTunes.
That was totally wicked!
Hit us up on Dig. And hell, just keep listening.
Good, clean, wholesome fun.
I don't know. They pay me to do this.
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast?
Yeah!
TalkRadar 94 is in the boardroom and live and in charge. Before we get into new releases, I think this is this podcast in particular is a community explosion. What sound effect would go well with that?
Do you have an explosion sound effect?
No.
Don't come.
No, I don't. I don't have one.
No, it's the same 30 sound effects from...
You had one. You had one 20 minutes ago.
No, I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to do either.
What band?
Yes, the TalkRadar community explosion. One of the things I liked Calicard. Remember when I played the Battlefield Bad Company 2 ending at 500 speed? That motherfucker slowed it down. And if you would like to hear what we sound like as demons.
Oh, right.
Ending. Wow.
God, sounds like a toilet.
That's us talking over it.
Oh, man.
Good God.
That is very slow.
That is very... Yes. But they... Dutch, I believe his name is Dutch, also found an example. I used to give Brett a lot of shit. Baby laugh whenever we talk about Pokemon.
Right. I'm still just hung up on the voices. It just reminds me of Gozer.
Stay there.
Oh, yeah?
Stay there. Stay there. Baby Brett Elston, Brett Elston would talk about Pokemon, and I'd hit him with you're a fucking baby.
Right.
I'm playing Pokemon right now. For the first time.
Give one to you.
All right. I deserve one of these.
Yeah, so
Big,
shut up.
bad baby
So the moral is shut up forever.
Shut up forever. It's absolutely fun. I can see how it's completely addictive.
Yep.
I'm actually lost and overwhelmed.
Super deep RPG combat system.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's too many options. Like, I don't know, how am I supposed to learn all this stuff? I'm looking on my phone. Is there an app or a guide?
No.
Wait till you get into breeding. That's a whole
I know. It's insane.
new level.
I'm carrying 2 eggs right now that I bred.
Really?
What are they?
I bred my first egg.
I can't say what they are. We're having an in-office tournament. I can't say what my
Are you
Pokemon
carrying a flame-bodied Pokemon with you as well?
I don't have any right now.
You don't have any?
It's the beginning of the game.
Know shit about Pokemon.
It's also not a flame body. It's like they have to have that ability.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, Pokemon.
Magmar.
Pokemon. Baby laugh is the point. We found it in the
I could import
We found
one.
it in the a Tarzan movie.
Yeah, the baby voice.
Dutch found it in another movie, and I'm sorry, this is a YouTube video he took himself.
Well, what do you think?
Well, he's ugly.
Does anybody know what movie this is from?
Ghostbusters.
I mean, he's not Elephant Man ugly, but he's not attractive. Was his father ugly?
Don't listen.
And he stinks.
You're right, senor.
There it is. Yes, it was Ghostbusters.
Wow.
2. It was
Two,
Ghostbusters 2 because there's a baby in it.
I was 8 years old when that movie came out, and
really, oh yeah,
it was '89. Summer.
Well, who am I to question the
Who
man?
am I to remember when Batman?
I was a senior in high school in '89.
That was the same summer, Batman.
Same summer as Keaton, Burton, Batman. It's a big summer for an 8-year-old.
We are boring our listeners.
Remember 1989? Those born in 1990.
Remember that unwatchable Batman movie that everybody looks back fondly upon?
Wow.
Which one? There were 2.
It was the movie is a mass hallucination we enjoyed for 20 years.
Yeah. Go back and watch it again. It like some of the scenery in that movie hurts. Like it's just a matte painting, and I deliberately made it jarring. Oh, I could tell it really hurts to look at.
But then you watch the second one, you're like, hey, the first one wasn't that bad.
And the first one wasn't that bad. It didn't have Danny DeVito,
which is why, like, as the years go on, I like the first less and like Forever more for some reason.
It is weird. It seems more in tune with how a superhero movie is carried out.
Like, for some reason, Batman and Robin, hilariously awful and blah blah blah. It's worth watching for the commentary because Schumacher just apologizes for 2 hours. It's great. But Forever is just enough in between the two that I find it the most watchable, even though Tommy Lee Jones is absolutely terrible. And Jim Carrey is over the top as the Riddler, but it's something about it.
It works way better with Jim Carrey. Jack Nicholson did that, and it was like, okay, this is your time to ham it up, just be crazy. And every one of them did it without
And it made me kind of miss that. Like I remember that sense of the summer is out. It's a new Batman movie. Of course, it's an all-star cast, and like that kind of regularity happening. And it's sad that it stopped with the next movie.
Can I tell my real quick? I'll tell my Batman
Sure.
Forever story.
I do acknowledge that the movie's not good.
When that movie
like,
came out, I was living in LA with my fiance, soon to become my wife, and she was a publicist at Warner Brothers Records. And for those of you who don't know, the Warner Brothers, like,
did she meet Seal?
The lot. No, she knew Green Day though, and Candlebox, and Bare Naked
Candlebox.
Ladies, and Filter.
There ain't a sinkhole in Florida you
Anyway.
can go to without hearing some Candlebox.
Anyway,
Bam.
for those of you who don't know, the Warner Brothers lot, as seen in Tiny Toons, actually has a giant film lot behind it. And most of the buildings are fake, but some of them are real. And one of the ones that's real is the cafeteria. One of the other ones that's real is a movie theater. And on Wednesdays, they would show a movie for free in the movie theater to anyone who worked at Warner Brothers. And they could all bring a +1, so I used to always go. And I saw Batman there. And they would, like, that was the Wednesday before it came out, so no one had seen it yet.
Forever
Much about it.
or the original?
No, Forever.
Forever. Okay. This
The
would be
one with-
1995, by the way.
Yeah, the one with like
yes.
15 characters, right?
Yeah.
And we go in and we watch it, and as I come out, I'm in the restroom, and these two well-dressed, Warner Brothers is one of those old companies that has a whole bunch of executives who basically are executives because they smoked pot for 30 years and didn't get fired. So the two of them walk in on either side of me, and we're all standing at the urinal with our special things in our hands, and one of them turns to the other one and goes,
Game
"Hey,
Boys?
So what'd you think?" That's whatever you want to call it. Right? He said, "What'd you think?" And the other guy goes, "Seriously?" He says, "Yeah." My God, what a confusing mess of shit. Yet they made, $300 million on it. But
I remember it was the highest grossing movie of that year.
The point is, even they knew it was terrible,
Yeah.
but they didn't care because the machine was already moving at that point.
Speaking of things that didn't come out 15 years ago, new releases for games this week.
New things.
Oh, man.
I don't like new things.
Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey.
I have heard of
DS.
that.
I have the soundtrack. to
Mike
that.
Grimm and Nagata and I went looking for it at the Best Buy. Didn't carry it at the Best Buy.
I have to say, that's a candidate for worst box art of the year, Michael.
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Okay.
But that game, based on
Looks like a thin Hellgas.
based on the cover, like it looks like a Mystery Science Theater cover.
I
Like
gotta see it.
the robot looks ridiculous. It's probably not a robot, but the guy in the suit. Guy in the suit. But as a consumer walking up and saying Shin
Bunch of words.
Shin
Strange
Megami
Journey.
Tensei.
Well, every game's a strange journey. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I applaud them for keeping the Japanese, like, they know the identity of that series.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean,
I think it's nice.
show me a series less suited for the US DS audience than this
Well.
one. I mean, they're 80-hour RPGs that need to be played on a console sitting in a comfortable couch.
Well, they also put out Tactics Advance. I mean, not Atlas, but I mean, there's plenty.
Yeah.
There's plenty of huge, as we just said, Pokemon.
I like
maybe.
that Shin Megami Tensei it's like almost.
But this is not remotely.
It's almost
cute like those
solidified
others.
here.
Yeah.
Well, that means it means something to
Yeah.
a specific audience.
I mean, it's doing well. It's averaging an 85, and I know.
Good
I know.
for that.
Well, it's probably a great critical success. I mean,
Yeah.
the PS2 ones, gosh, there've been 10 of them now practically. The PS2 ones are always great. It's just a matter of will the DS buy it.
And we also on the DS this week, WarioWare DIY.
Oh, that came out.
Do you have
Yeah.
anything to say about that, Elston?
We got one in the office, but I haven't actually played it.
Me
We
neither.
also got T-shirts with markers.
Make your own tiny games.
Yeah, I mean, not surprisingly, there's not really any reviews. The only ones are Nintendo Power, which is an 8.5.
Hey,
But I mean, it's a WarioWare game where you make your own games, and I mean,
love the WarioWare series.
and I mean, no one should review that based off like a day of playing it, and most people didn't get it till Thursday or Friday last
I only
week.
saw Nintendo Power, and they showed like it was pretty complicated, or like at least there's a lot of options in how to make your own game. They made like a fucking boxing game, like a little RPG.
No, yeah, the new Nintendo Power with the second Scribblenauts on the cover has a huge spread, like feature on how it works. So I mean, if you're interested in making your own games, I don't know how I'm sure it's restrictive to people who want to go crazy, and then maybe too daunting for people who want to just go in there. I want to make a game. This is too hard.
This is too hard.
That's what I did with Little Big Planet. Like I saw the guy make the mechanical calculator and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'll just download his level.
Yeah. And also the MotoGP 0910.
Yeah, great game if you like motorcycles.
I know.
yeah,
I
it's the
told
series-
you I was reviewing it, and you said it's a 7.
Yeah,
It's
like,
just-
just
they
stop,
always are.
Stop playing, give it a 7, and move on.
Yeah, I actually gave it a. I wish.
Don't
got
even write a
confused.
review,
I got
just
confused
hit
by
7 over and over.
I got confused by P-Tom Stars. So
Who are
I
you reviewing that for?
P-Tom.
Yeah, it's not with us.
No.
I just love that the series is getting less popular every year, such that they have to combine 09 and 10 into one.
Well, I think that they
Well, you know what they have to do is because THQ and Capcom both make MotoGP
No,
games.
that's what happened. Is that Capcom owns it exclusively this year?
Oh, do they?
And it took it a little longer, and they're going to update 10,
That's
2010 via free DLC.
I may have meant Namco when I said
No, they did. They did. They definitely. They had switched back and forth each year, but it's Capcom exclusively. It's a really deep, sterile motorcycle. It's pretty good at that, but God damn it!
If you don't know why motorcycle riders wear a metal knee pad on one leg, you don't care about this game.
It doesn't get
That's
that
my
in
rule.
depth, but you do like the thing is you hire staff. It's almost like picking a fucking party in RPG, and they get you sponsorships,
Right.
And you assign engineers to research. You don't purchase parts; you research them, and somebody, depending on the level of that guy, he'll make it better.
Yeah.
It's not a bad game. It's hard to recommend to anybody who isn't really into motorcycles. That's it. Just Cause 2.
That's pretty
Never
awesome.
heard of it.
Well,
I think Just Cause 2 is going to be this year's Red Faction Gorilla. And what I mean by that is no one's going to buy it this week, and in a month, people are all going to be talking about it. I think it's going to be sneaking up on folks.
It's pretty fantastic.
I find the
Yeah,
prevailing criticism
it's really
of it.
neat.
I mean, it's scoring well. It's averaging an 84 on Metacritic. But I find that the prevailing criticism is that the game they made isn't that great, but the sandbox is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go through these kind of boring and rote missions, but the playground is just...
Welcome to GTA.
Yeah, but even GTA, I can get invested in the story and the characters, and because I can't... When they finally give me a helicopter in GTA, I'm like, wow, look how big the city really is. But Just Cause 2's scale is so big that, like, they start giving you stuff. Here's your jetpack, or not
Like
jetpack.
your parachute you can deploy off of the top of a
Yeah.
car.
The grappling hook and the parachute is actually all you really need.
Yeah, because those two
in that
things
entire
together
game.
basically make you into Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But
because you
it's-
can just jump up, grapple anything, and then hit the parachute, and it shoots you up in the air. It's brilliant.
The thing is that I love about the grappling hook is it completely breaks the usual action because I played through one of the early missions last night, just started, and there's a thing where you're on the roof of a car that's being driven by someone else, and you have to, shoot at all these guys pursuing in jeeps. And I didn't fire a single shot. I just kept throwing my grappling line onto the jeeps and then attaching the other end of it to the road. So they just catch and go flying.
It's fantastic. It's
off.
like the Looney Tunes game.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
do a Terminator 3 fire truck engine.
When
Just-
Heath Ledger
it's
tripped that
fantastic.
car in Dark Knight, or that truck.
We made two movie references at the same time.
Jesus. This is not appropriate. but
Where now the
That's all I
explosion?
got.
Come on.
Oh, the explosion?
There
I
you
can
go.
do that. Oh, man, I missed again.
All right.
I missed again.
That's what she said.
Just Cause 2, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
A lot of fun.
really enjoyable.
Also, this week, before we get to the game that Brett actually played through,
Yeah.
the DSi XL came out.
That's
No, it
Sunday.
didn't.
Comes out on Sunday.
Sunday.
God,
It's coming
fucking...
We are living in the future.
But it's Friday.
Say something about the DSi
It's Friday.
XL.
I've actually been playing Pokemans on it, and
Really?
it is
It's so awesome.
It is luxurious. It is large. Hey, don't front.
We give a little bit.
The thing about the DSi, sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. It doesn't matter how big I tell you it is, or anyone here tells you it is. The first thing you're going to say when you see it is, "Damn, that's big."
It's bigger than you think.
Yeah,
it's freaking huge.
Which is why our article... Fuck, keep talking. I'm going to go back to that
No, it's-
article.
The only thing I can understand is why they didn't make the D-pad. Well, not the D-pad, but specifically the buttons are still kind of tiny.
Yeah,
and
they're
close
like,
together.
They're almost like the same size they were in the first place.
Yeah,
Are they really?
I kind of thought. Yeah, it's like everything else has gotten big, but it's kind of like it's on roids. Like certain parts of the body get larger, others stay the same or shrink.
yeah.
But I love those big screens.
The
It's
big
completely impractical now. It's practically a netbook.
Yeah, it doesn't. It certainly does not fit in my pocket in such a way as a light or even the DSi would just go like, oh, I'm done. Because the DS Fat was already criticized to the point where they're like, shit, we got to redesign this thing.
Yeah.
And then they made one that's bigger than the Fat.
Yeah,
And
way
it's like,
bigger.
Way bigger. If you watch our YouTube video, which is on
Our YouTube
youtube.com/GamesRadar,
We'll put it on the TalkRadar 94 page.
yeah, and
You
this
should be able to see
thing
it.
barely putting it in my pocket is like impractical, and if you're a girl,
never.
Like your pockets are skin tight already, so it's like it's not going in your pocket.
I've never seen a girl put anything in your pocket.
That's true.
But I was tasked with writing a dumbass article for just our YouTube video.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of anything to do but come up with DSi XL is so big jokes.
I thought it was hilarious. The one where the 4 quarters turned into $1 had me laughing.
Well, some of those were reworked fat mama jokes.
Yes. I enjoyed
Still funny.
The DSi.
The DSi XL is so big, there's an echo in the stylus holder. Oh! I don't have my phone.
You do. They're at the bottom.
Are they?
Say yeah!
Oh, shit!
Because I imported them for your roast last week, because you're old as fuck now.
Jesus. Whatever. How long do you have?
I have till November, till I'm
Mr.
as old as the rest of you guys.
Are you 30 as well, Michael?
Yeah, I'm 31. Turned 32 this year.
Nah, dog. It
My
ain't about
babies
that.
are all growing up.
Ain't about that. It's about DSi XL. The DSi is XL is so big, it was delivered here by Greenpeace. Yeah.
Saved by the sound.
Wait, it's a whale?
Yes. Yes, get it? Because whales are big.
I understand.
The DSi XL is so big, it won't return Spielberg's calls.
Yeah.
My favorite was the DSi XL is so big, a picture of it is heavy.
Oh, there we go.
That is
These
good.
are from the users. Like, I thought this was great. The DSi XL is so big, it stars Tom Hanks. Oh, wait,
And
that
John
was
Candy.
me, actually. Shit. The DSi XL is so big, MTV renamed Robin Big to Robin DSi XL. Oh, there are more of these.
And they're worth the wait. Oh my god.
Oh, let us not forget.
Sincere.
Oh, hold on. The DSi XL is so big, it makes DS game cards look small by comparison.
I don't get that.
That's the one to end on, that's for sure.
I'm trying to see if I just didn't collect these. I should have. That's the whole point, was to get you guys to make these jokes, and you did. And it was really fucking funny.
Yeah.
You being the readers and listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, DSi Lite XL. Excuse me.
DSi,
It's big and good.
It's what, it's $180, but I think various trade-ins are like, if you bring in your light, you can get it for $120. And
if you're bringing a fat, I think it's $100.
The weird thing is, I want to put up an article about this on Friday, but the way the world works, that won't happen. My gut reaction to it is, I don't think it is good to have only one. Like, it's such a different thing. I wouldn't want to take that thing with me on a bar, like on a train or a car ride or something.
Oh, user Maynard J has got you. The DSi XL is so big, you can use it as a tanning bed. I don't know why they call people to fight.
What sound is that?
That was from a rap battle.
I think I know what you're
horribly
saying.
awry.
Like you don't want it to replace your DS. You want
yeah,
it
and that's why it's kind of like it's just frivolous. Like it's $180. Like, huh? Like it's big and it's nice, and the screen looks fantastic. I'm wondering though if there's a refresh problem a little bit, because playing Pokemon, like there's just lines of text that fill up the screen.
Yeah.
I feel like they fade in slower than they did on the smaller LCD screen. I don't know. I need to do side by side for that.
Have you played it long enough to wear it on the battery?
No. Ravenbaum says the DSi XL is so big, Bruce Willis will have to protect it in his next movie. Yes. I love it.
The thing to realize too is also, in Japan, it was conceived because old people wanted the DS.
Nope.
Yeah.
Because they're all playing Brain Age and
and I can totally understand,
games.
because
and they needed a bigger one so they could see it.
The text on the small screen, text is going to be even smaller.
Oh, latest in from The Wire, the DSi XL is so big, PSPs orbit around it. But in all honesty,
so when are you ready to move on?
I don't think you're looking at the same wire we are.
In all honesty, can you believe? I thought the 3D, what is it, 3DS?
The 3DS
was a hoax.
Yeah.
Because what company would announce a new console the week of releasing
another new
console?
But this is Nintendo. They refresh their hardware like every 6 months.
It's very suspicious and very strange. And
I still don't believe
I'll
it.
bet you we get new colors of DSi XL before we get the 3DS.
Oh,
Maybe.
we will.
But they keep playing. Like, I don't know. I keep meaning to look closer at these articles. But who's claiming we're going to play this at E3? Like, the Wii was shown for the first time. Like, nobody knew the Wii was coming outside of people on the real inside until the second it was unveiled. How do we know the 3DS exists?
I mean,
well,
we knew what the system looked like a year before it came out.
You did?
The DS,
I did in
it.
Illinois. I mean, they showed when it was called the Revolution. They showed what it was going to look like.
Do not recall
The
that.
DS was
It wasn't
called
paying
the
much
Revolution.
attention.
Here's the thing
Talking about the Wii.
that I think Nintendo's banking on, and I'm just making this up right now, is that their
Oh.
primary
Write it
audience, their primary audience for this thing is grandmothers and people who want to buy them for their grandmothers. Neither of these markets are going to keep up on recent announcements, and neither of them are going to particularly care that, oh, but there's a 3D one coming out just down the road.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like the Brain Age, but I can't see it.
Exactly. I need a large print version.
Although, did you guys look at that? The UK did that story on like the various forms of 3D that it could possibly do today. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's
Well,
up on
they had
the
the
site in the
iPhone game with
GamesRadar
the dice.
stream. If you take a look and
The
stop
content stream. Don't call it a blog. We'll all get fired. But yeah, they had like the iPhone game with the dice where you could sort of tilt it, and it knew it was using the tiltometer, no, the accelerometer,
Accelerometer.
to tell sort of what angle it should look at, and it was pretty neat. And then
Seems
they had the
a little
DS
odd.
game that was using the camera to tell the angle it was at.
I hope
compared to your head.
it's too easy to make a Virtual Boy joke at this point. I'd like to say there's more thought being put into it than that.
Oh, definitely. The thing is, everyone, including myself, naysayed the DS when it was announced.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
fuck you, your
Yep.
two screens.
Yep.
It's stupid. It's
Me
going to
too.
fail. Nintendo.
DS means dumb and stupid.
so much better. Oh my god!
And then
Yeah.
the PSP, and then we all were like, oh, wow.
Every expert had
we
it
were
wrong.
all 100% wrong.
I told a financial analyst that.
Wow.
When I was at NextGen, I had a financial consultant who would call me, and I got a bunch of stuff right, and then it's possible I kind of miscalled on the DS.
Man, I don't think anyone got that right.
I think that the DS is one of the main reasons we were all kind of just sort of clenching our teeth and grinning through the whole Wii and Wii Fit thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is gonna turn out great, right?
I thought the Wii was.
Nintendo's
I thought the
never
Wii
steered
was a
us wrong
fad.
before.
I thought the Wii was a fad. I'm like, it's an underpowered system with a gimmick controller. People can get over it in 6 months. I didn't
Well,
say
and-
when that 6 months would start, though.
Yeah.
So 3
Well,
years later,
Your
I'm
peers
still-
and readers
Never-
did.
Yeah,
Never
the
bet
thing is,
against
the audience that normally sustains these things did get over it, but but it somehow ate.
Yeah, I underestimated their ability to
20 million
sell it
people
to
want to buy Wii
non-gamers.
Fit.
What I'm a little more curious about is is this a new platform or is this just a new kind of DS?
I'm sure it's a new platform.
You think so?
I think it is. I think it's time because the thing's over. The DS itself, the hardware is 5 years
No, I
old.
hope so, but like just promoting it on the terms of something that's 3DS.
Yeah, I don't know.
3DS.
It is strange. I mean, I suppose it could go either way because the DSi itself last year introduced a bit more processing power. It's slightly more powerful than the DS Lite.
I believe the DSi XL is so big it could get to the Resonator before Phoenix.
I don't.
Never.
What? How is that big?
I think the Resonator was pretty big. I don't know what
How does that make him faster?
The
than
Resonator
Phoenix?
was underground, I believe.
You know what? That wasn't from me. That was Tiger Claws.
Who just got thrown under the bus?
He got thrown under the bus big time. I could barely say that.
I'm
We need to move
sorry.
on with this. We're at the DSi.
I was just saying.
XL.
I was thinking the DSi itself last year just introduced a slightly more processing power, so it is
Right.
technically more capable. And there are only a few games so far that are DSi only.
Right.
So it would be weird for Nintendo to go, and here's a totally new system that's not DS hardware. It's new DS, 3D hardware, different processor, different architecture inside. However, the prediction I made last year that the DSi is the 2000s Game Boy Color, that's exactly what they did. They introduced the Game Boy Color in 1998 that was slightly more powerful than the Game Boy. And then 3 years later, GBA, totally new system, totally more powerful. They're not against putting a completely stopgap system out, which is what the DSi kind of looks like it was. And if the 3DS does turn out to be a brand new
It's
system,
another stopgap.
then yeah, that's what it's.
I'm actually.
Well, don't you think they'll be able to come with games where you can look at it in 3D or not?
Well, I'm almost excited. Like the NVIDIA card we did the 3D review stuff on, Tyler Nagata did that article on, was all based on
glasses and.
Well, it was based on glasses, but it was based on existing games and
Yeah,
NVIDIA
yeah.
figuring out how to make them 3D. If you can figure out how to make existing games 3D, I think that's a far more interesting concept than the DSi.
Yeah. I don't know. DSi is like them. I don't know. We should probably put a camera on it, and like, it's just
one front and back.
And I tried to use
let's have it play music, but not MP3s.
Not MP3s. They use 8-track, which is a format.
Then an executive flipped over the table like, no! Store. We need a store.
Need a DSiWare store.
How will we give them microtransactions?
That's right.
Store?
We can't sell Dragon's Lair on the DS in a box. People only buy it on download.
Not at all.
It's all a ruse from fucking Dave Perry, who wanted Earthworm Jim on the DS.
I see.
So he's
right, because that game is good.
Get positive.
Earthworm Jim 2, good game.
It is a good game.
With the soundtrack from Tommy T. Tallarico.
Okay.
Tommy Tallarico.
Oh, yeah. You reviewed Red Steel 2 this week.
That came out this week as well.
Yes,
and, I mean, yeah, I reviewed Red Steel 2, and there's a little history to it in that
it's number 2.
It floated around the office. Like, I kept trying to pass it off. Like, we need to do a super review for Red Steel 2. It's an important game because, it looks like it's going to try, and we should probably care, but I don't want to. So, Henry, will you review it? And then Charlie, it's too bad Charlie's not here because Charlie heard me trying to make Henry review it, and I didn't have the heart to just finally say, shut up and do it. Because he's like, I'm just not... I really don't want to. Not interested.
That is so Henry too. Like he can't form a complete sentence when he's trying to figure out how to get out of something.
Yeah, and he's just like, I really would not like to do that. Like, okay, well, I'll just sit on my desk for a while, and then eventually, with no one else to turn to, reviewed it.
I think you didn't make the call until we got the box copy.
Yeah, when the box copy showed up, I'm like, well,
showed up early.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I don't have a choice anymore. Because here it is. And I reviewed it and gave it a 9 because it really was amazing.
It looks awesome.
Like, the combat, it's really hard to get across in videos and trailers and screens.
But first-person juggles.
It's a little bit of juggling, yeah. It's just like, it's a first-person shooter with motion plus, so the moving and aiming works really well. The guns are actually downplayed severely. Like, the guns... I use them mainly only to set up other combos. Like when there's a bunch of guys, you can shoot one in the knee, he'll drop to a knee, and then you can rush across the...
Oh, there's like a rush button?
There's a rush move.
Like a dash,
but the thing is, all these moves link into each other. So like I can do a gunshot, rush, gesture, that's the instant takedown, or I can, by swinging left, or by swinging forward, or by swinging up to down, or AA and swinging down. All these moves are different, or... hold A and B to hold my sword horizontal and then flip up, and it shoots them up in the air where you can then rush into the air, Devil May Cry style, in first person and smash them back down to the ground. And then you land, and then you have a move that if there's somebody sneaking up behind you, you can tap a button and gesture, and it's a one-hit kill behind you without even looking. Like
that's what I like. And you can miss, too, apparently.
And yeah, you can miss, but it's like when all this stuff comes together and it all looks like Borderlands Wild West meets Japanese.
Oddworld. It reminds me of Borderlands meets Oddworld.
Kind of. It's just this
Stranger's Wrath.
It's very dusty, kind of. So all the people are like punky, road warrior types. You're fighting all these guys, and yes, the story is like revenge, and that's it. And the characters are one dimensional, but I don't like. Did anyone care that Doom had no story and didn't care? Like,
nope.
All the reviews that are complaining these characters are. You are wrong.
It's an action game.
Like, it's an action game made about shooting and fighting. Like, I'm actually glad I don't have to sit and listen to why Dante is fighting all these demons or whatever. Like, I don't care. It's a cool game that the fighting actually works. And the downside is, yes, it is very waggle heavy. This is a case where the waggle is good, and it does work.
What, you mean like just the...
Yeah, I mean, like... It corresponds to what you do better than any Wii game I've played. And I mean, you're still swinging left to right or up and down, but there's a bunch of button presses involved in it as well that mix up the moves and make it much more complicated, especially the later you get. It's like BioShock in that respect. It starts off as a very straightforward, you're like, I mean, this is not BioShock by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm saying, like, the empowering aspect of, in the end of BioShock, when you have all those plasmids, and then you walk in a room of guys, and you're like, I got this.
Right.
And you're just like, I'll hover that guy in the air into the spikes, I'll electrocute that guy, and that guy's on fire, and set the bees after that guy, and I'll just stand here and watch it all happen.
You are the only good part of Sherlock Holmes, the new movie. Yeah.
What?
He's kind of dictated on how he clear a room.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you see the thought process in his head.
The cool aspect they forgot halfway through the movie and then didn't do any more of.
When it just became a really
But I don't know how that movie ended because it burned on the reel right in front of my eyes.
Here's the thing, though. I was playing Red Steel 2 last night, played through the first several missions, and I agree that it's pretty cool, but at the same time, I have to say it's not what I was hoping for. In terms of they really pushed the whole 1-to-1 Wii Motion Plus. It's the first realistic sword fighting game, and it's like it's still just like jab forward. It's basically you're inputting commands.
Yes.
You're not controlling an actual.
No, you definitely
sword.
are. You definitely are inputting commands, and a 1-to-1 sword game will never happen because it will be terrible.
Probably.
And that's why I love it. Is it works with and around the Wii shortcomings to make a fighting system that really functions and makes you feel like a swordsman without making me have to be a swordsman to be good at it.
My other complaint is that the fact that turning, looking around, being controlled by the Wii remote,
right.
That kind of conflicts with the whole the sword strikes, and that it's really easy to fuck up your perspective.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
Yeah,
especially when you're trying to hit crates and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to hit a crate, now I'm looking right. Like that stuff really got kind of irritating. But I mean, the game's all about the combat, and it is true. Like if you only play it for a couple hours, like there's not a lot you can do. You don't have a lot of moves, but as you play, you get more money. You can unlock stuff. You can power up the same moves you already have. I don't know, like 4 hours into the game, I was like, well, this seems like a pretty good 8. I'm enjoying it. It's cool. But I mean, this and that and whatever. And then like hour 6 and 7, I'm like, God damn! I just killed 13 guys, then get hit. Like, and I countered every attack they did. I shot that guy in the knee and then punched him while he was getting up, and then stabbed the guy in the back without him even knowing I was there. And leveled the room with a Tommy gun, and then ran over here and jumped across the roof. And now I'm running across the roof of a train while it's going down. It's really cool. And for a game that's a sequel to a game that was fucking shit.
There it was.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, the first game was garbage. Yeah, that was shocking.
Yeah.
Like, the first game is just abysmal, and it's ugly and doesn't work.
What is there a connection?
No.
I mean, mention nothing? Not even
well, honestly, I didn't play much of the first one to know. I played like an hour, and I was like, this is
all like sword fighting Yakuza guys.
Yeah. It was sword fighting Yakuza in the first one, but I mean, none of it worked. And this one is just, never mind.
Although I will tell you, the mock footage they showed of the first one still blows me away.
Yeah, that wouldn't look at home on even on a 360 today.
Can we make fun of the tutorial now? Because I thought that was really hilarious.
Which one? The Wii Motion Plus one, or
the one where you're in the Old West, in the cartoon Old West, and everything's cell shaded, and all of a sudden a hot chick in a white T-shirt shows up on screen showing you how to slash.
And I mentioned those in the Super Review.
Incidentally, I followed that direction. Like, I'll draw my arm behind me and slash like I'm drawing a real sword, and immediately just fucked up my shoulder. It's like, I felt something snap.
You know why? It's because you didn't shake your hips the way she did.
That's true.
Like she sort of.
It's also because I'm old and really out of shape.
You need to be coy and sort of.
Because you didn't shake your hips in the way I like.
That's right.
And I mean
I'll do it sexy for you guys.
And I mean, that is like one of the other criticisms of the game is if you have the stigma of I don't want to shake a remote to attack, I'll look like an idiot. The problem is the strikes are.
In my case, it's less look like an idiot. Feel like an idiot.
Yeah, well, feel like an idiot.
I'm in pain,
or whatever the case may be. But I didn't mean that specifically. I just mean you'll need room to play because
that's true.
The strikes are actually
really like a full movement.
Like I mean, I did play the game sitting down, so I didn't need to be standing up and like reaching all the way back.
Like it clearly knows when you've done like a flick of the wrist and like
it can tell between. I mean, you can cheat it a little, but it does serve to
it kind of knows
if you do a weak strike, if you weakly swing left to right, it knows that was a weak strike, and you won't break somebody's guard. If you swing hard, you have to do 3 hard swings before somebody's like deflects stop working, and then they break their their swords fall back, and then you can do like one of 10 different finishing moves or start a combo, or I don't know. You can just work your way across the room. I've tried. I hate it because I don't want to oversell it, and then because it is a Wii game.
What I wanted motion controls to do to begin with, because something about hitting, say in God of War, holding the square button to knock a guy in the air isn't as satisfying as even flicking the analog stick to knock someone in the air.
Yeah, I for some whatever reason it
should have said that.
It all really spoke to me, and I mean, it's the kind of thing where even though I'll recommend this Wii game, that so few people will then take that advice to go play it because I've been burned so many times already.
Okay.
And I don't want to contribute to any more like, well, it was pretty good, because I can see complaints.
Just wait 2 months and it'll be
$30 soon. So, and it comes bundled with Motion Plus. So
it'll be reasonable.
But
Week of Hate.
We have music playing underneath. The guy, the composer, gave me.
Oh, he's from Firefly. Is that what you said?
No. The guy repping him also reps the guy from Firefly, but he did. The guy did he did the music also for Hawks and Graw and other Ubi games. But it's good. The soundtrack is very good. It's very atmospheric and fits very well, and it does sound like Firefly. It's really cool.
A little twangy and old westy.
It's twangy old westy with like a lot of then Japanese like flutes and like it's really interesting. It's the kind of Wii game that like you so rarely see that much thought and care put into it. It looks nice. It moves really smooth. Everything works. Blah blah blah.
Is it set in a particular time period?
It's the future Old West thing, like
Future West, future Old West. As opposed to the past Old West.
It's Firefly, Borderlands, Full Metal Alchemist, however you want to spin it, but it's it's that kind of.
Did anybody see South Park last week?
No.
Open the door, you motherfucker!
I used this in the intro. This is who is that? That would be Tiger Woods' wife.
Ooh,
Norwegian.
yeah, chase after me in the car, Kenny.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? Dude, check it out. It's EA Sports Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11 for Xbox.
Fuck you, Cod!
Stop breaking through the window, Kenny.
By the way, this is uncensored online.
Right.
Nice. They don't censor any words, which isn't better than the page. Just saying.
I think slowly Comedy Central is going to get around that.
I think it's working for. I think the site is separate from Comedy Central. So
I think eventually Comedy Central is just going to somehow be able to have fuck on.
Yeah, I remember they said
they couldn't say shit 10 years ago.
The interview I heard is like the shit episode. Remember that?
Yeah.
He's like, we want to say it. We want to say it once. He's like, well, we'll see what the advertisers think, and they pitch it to advertisers, and like everybody wants to be on board.
Yeah.
Absolutely everybody.
They've run the movie
NYPD Blue showed me Dennis Farina's naked butt years ago. I don't think anything else is taboo at this point.
He graduated from the same college we did.
Congratulations. I still don't want to see his butt. So did one of the Belushis.
I just thought it was odd.
The worst one.
The dead one.
I've never heard.
The better one.
Jim.
The better one, yeah.
Jim, he is not the better one here.
I might be wrong.
Which one are you talking about?
I don't know. Jenny McCarthy also graduated.
One of them did. She graduated. Rush Limbaugh flunked out of Missouri State.
Remember, there was a story. Henry did a story of EA threatening to sue.
Yeah.
EA threatening to sue.
Only because I've never heard a show reference a publisher so directly like that. They mentioned EA specifically. This is the latest from EA. This is EA Sports Best Yet.
I think EA, if any company.
You know what? Chances are that was deliberate.
Yeah.
They probably called EA and said, "Can we do this?" And he said, "Yeah, just mention our brand by name." Because EA immediately went and said, "Actually, we're not going to sue. We're just."
You've all heard this podcast, and we're all skirting the boundary of legality every time this airs.
Did you say legality or reality?
Legality. Okay. And what South Park, of all people, they break the rules all the time.
Yeah.
And mention and use certain things. But the thing is, you know how uncool you are if you sue South Park?
Yeah.
You are very uncool.
Nobody would do that.
Not even the Church of Scientology did that.
They almost did that.
They thought about it.
They thought about it.
They publicly thought about it.
But you know what's not cool? The Church of Scientology.
That's true.
That shit is not cool.
Great. Now they're going to sue us.
Now we're fair game.
Thanks,
you don't know what you've done.
I will fight anybody. Christy Alley, Katie Holmes. I will fight them all.
Tom Cruise
with a vagina.
Kelly Preston.
Yes,
John
her
Travolta?
specifically. No,
Beck.
He looks kind of tough. Beck?
Beck.
Not my Beck.
Yeah.
Aw.
Second generation.
Oh no.
His parents were Scientologists.
New pollution. What do you think that's all about?
I'm just kidding.
I have no
Scientology
idea.
is awesome.
Devil's haircut for you?
Yes, devil's haircut in my Phaeton.
That's your alien guilt talking.
That was South
Back to the
Park.
volcano with you.
But it was all. I think it was all part of the spirit of the Week of Hate.
Right.
Week of Hate. What do we have going up this week?
I'm sorry, what do we hate?
We hate everything.
Every March we
This
decide
week
to
we
hate
hate everything.
for a week.
Yeah.
It's a week of hating.
I have an article just hating iPhone shit. Hopefully,
I have an article posting tomorrow, Thursday. It's up, so it's up.
That's
been
yesterday
up.
in internet time.
And as of now, it's not done. So that's interesting. But it's about the most hated failures. Like hardware
failures. I saw you, like, for about 5 minutes trying to take a picture of a sullied Wii condom you kept dropping on your desk.
I was trying to make it fall on my desk and look like a used condom.
So
I finally got it.
I meant to just take a video so you could see the process of Brett dropping this Wii condom for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it needed to land just so. No, it has to look like it was wrapped around the shaft and then thrown hastily into a gutter.
That's what I was going for.
You did not use the word shaft.
I did. I love that movie.
In conversation.
John Shaft.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be a big condom.
Just
like that, I killed it dead.
How did you do that? It's amazing.
Yeah, it's about like the Red Ring of Death, the PS3 trophy thing, but also stuff like Hellgate London launched with this huge bug.
Yeah.
And Myth 2 for PC had a bug where if you tried to uninstall it, it would uninstall everything in the directory that you installed it in. So if you put it in C:/Myth 2, it would delete. It would wipe your hard drive. And things like that.
Does anyone know what? Everyone knows who made Myth 2, right?
Bungie.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what. And the Halo 3 scratch disc is in there.
Hey.
And PSP burnt pixels. Like I tried to grab as much shit as I could. So it's all the just shitty stuff that it's their fucking fault. All this stuff broke, and it was very easy to hate on them for it.
Did you use the square button for PSP as well?
No. I mean, the L button was the one that was going where we were. It was an L button. No, even mine still locks sometimes.
Really?
And the once a year I play it,
I put up that a link back to the interview of Shirley Phelps Roper that everybody keeps asking, where is it? I mean, all you have to do is Google it, but now you don't.
Google
it's on there right now.
So easy.
It's on there right now. And Michael,
check the stream.
Michael is doing what perhaps has the most potential. What's the article called?
Hitler's Greatest Hits.
Yes.
Fuck.
I know, it's fantastic. And what is that from exactly?
That is from Return to Castle Wolfenstein, or no, Beyond Castle Wolfenstein.
Beyond Castle Wolfenstein.
Oh, it is. Which for the Apple II. It was, as far as I know, so far the first time Hitler ever appeared in a video game. And basically, all he does is when you get to the midpoint of the game, the whole thing is that you're supposed to sneak into this bunker where Hitler and his top brass are hiding, set a bomb outside the door where they're meeting, and get out before it blows up. And so you get in there, and you see the room, and all it is Hitler pacing back and forth, and periodically he'll salute his generals and go, Heil! And then they'll salute back and go, Heil! That's all they do.
This is the worst, the most grating audio I've ever grabbed of anything, and I had to do it. It's 9 seconds. Please bear with it. This is what, Beyond Castle Wolfenstein?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
That's walking.
Yeah.
Uncut, baby. Uncut. God, I really hated it. So loud.
Well, that was the old days.
I guess.
What year was that?
80-something. I'm not sure off the top of my
it's
head.
probably
It'll
like
be
80.
in the article.
That was when all you had was a PC speaker.
No,
Apple
you didn't
II
have
speaker.
PCs. You
That
had an Apple
was
II or a Commodore 64.
synthesized voice. That's the Wolfenstein games had that, and just some sort of horrible tinny speaker shrieking in German at you.
Awesome.
I'm sorry.
A lot of people don't know that. The Wolfenstein games were originally top-down stealth games. Third person.
Could you have stealth in that?
I actually completely forgot. Yeah, that Wolfenstein existed before 3D, and
It was all sneaking
Jesus,
around.
is this abysmal? Hitler's Greatest Hits.
It was from Epix, the same company that gave us the Summer Games series.
Was it?
Yep. And also iRobot.
Oh wait, that was an accident, but it can help us move on to one. UK and our UK side did an impromptu hate article, which made me fucking furious. This is what I was so mad.
There's the explosion.
I was so mad. What was it? The most biased TV video game debate ever.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Ever. Hold on. Let me see the best way I can intro this. It's a show called the Alan Titchmarsh Show. It's from the UK. Completely one-sided.
Tonight, it's the turn of the gaming industry to be patted on the back for its creative genius.
Excuse me.
Oh. Sorry, I'm playing at the same time.
What they're doing, they're talking about the BAFTAs that are coming up. And Modern Warfare is nominated for a BAFTA. I think we mentioned Dead to Rights won a BAFTA BAFTAs are fair game for video
I believe
games.
the composer for Red Steel 2 was...
This is all true. It's very easy to win a BAFTA. And that's why they're talking about games right now on this show.
Patted on the back for its creative genius. On the shortlist are titles like Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare, Left 4 Dead 2, Street Fighter 4.
Someone give that man an Imodium.
Chinatown Wars.
I love Michael's face because this is teaching you the importance of like emphasis,
right,
and elocution, and all.
I think that
Auto
man,
Chinatown Wars.
That
like,
man just needs more fiber. In
You've
his diet.
never said those words in that combination in your life.
Like you have
never. Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2.
I guess fucking terrible delivery.
We can
before we even get into what he says. Just
see, we can get into stuff we hate. This filled me with hate, with their hate, and I wish I could grab more, but I'll tell you why in a second.
It's an industry worth.
Oh, excuse me. The guy defending games is what? One of Future's guys, CBG's Tim Ingham.
Tim, I believe they call
Tim
him.
Ingham. Go Tim. Go Tim.
It's an industry worth billions, but recently it's come under fire due to the violent nature of some of its content.
Yeah,
so
recently.
Should our children be exposed to violence?
Oh, shut
even
up
if it's
already.
In the world of fantasy? And are such games corrupting the nation's kids? Here to discuss, our computerandvideogames.com editor, Tim Ingham,
He said the whole
Julie
thing.
Peasgood, and Kelvin McKenzie.
all right. First thing, you from CBG, shut up.
No offense, Eric. That was the intro you had asked about where I got it from. It was from. it had no bearing on who you are.
Bastard.
I wanted to grab more of the audio, but I was too mad, and I asked Stephen, our boss from England, who is Alan Titchmarsh? He's like, oh, Alan. He's like, he's a former horticulturalist, gardening expert, who is very popular with old women, and he has.
Wow, he's just like me so far.
He has this talk show, and this is how it goes. It's just they pretty much brought this guy on to put him through the motions and run him through the ringer.
What is it? A straw man?
A straw man, maybe. I don't know. There's plenty of shit to get mad at. God damn it! I hope you guys laugh at the right point. This is absolutely asinine. I love this when like this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Tim Ingham is trying to educate them on how games are regulated and sold.
Right. Parents in particular are concerned with the enormous amounts of violence in these games. It's a bit more than a TV Western that we used to watch. The Lone Ranger was never quite this bad. Is it defensible?
Very much so, yeah. You could easily say the same thing for movies such as The Hurt Locker or Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious, which picked up Oscars.
But they have certificates on them, and so children under 18 can't get in.
The video games have exactly the same certificates.
But they're at home.
From the BBFC. I'm sorry.
Well, you can't stop children getting in to a house and putting a video on. You can stop them going into a cinema.
But they're at home.
Right, you can't stop your kids coming home. My dad tried for years.
Listen to Tim's reaction there.
Video games have exactly the same certificates.
But they're at home.
From the BBFC. I'm sorry.
Well, you can't.
I'm sorry. What?
The thing you didn't say was, "I'm sorry, you appear to be insane." What?
I'm sorry, you've never heard of cable and video. Oh,
right.
Oh, my mistake.
It's different from someone buying a DVD and putting them in a home.
They can watch the westerns at home, but they can't watch the movies.
It's all scrambled, you see.
And I do want to point out.
I had a point to make. I'm not going to deviate from this point.
A member of the panel, Julie Peasgood. We were talking about.
We're laughing at her.
We were talking about.
I don't want to laugh anymore because I'm sure she got it.
We were talking about abnormally British names, and I'm like, who is this dumb?
The thing that makes that funny is, in the old days, like your name came from what you did for a living, right?
Yeah.
Cooper
Peasgood.
meant you made barrels.
It has an A in it. It's Peasgood. The vegetables, Eric. I don't understand why you're going. Oh, who's
talking about taking a wee?
Hey,
I'm not taking a wee. I'm just taking the piss out of here.
That's good in that case.
I'm sorry. I'm going to fuck off and play this next clip.
How that woman surely must be in a rush to get married. How unattractive must she be?
So infuriated me. She is this. Like, I'm looking up what she says. Hold on. After she says stuff like this, and I want to collect more of this audio, but I asked Steven, and he's like, "Oh, this doesn't matter. It's not like they said it on CNN.
Right.
Like, they said it for old people.
An interesting statistic for you is that just 1 in 20 video games is rated with an adult rating on it, which just goes to show that 19 in every 20 games are suitable for kids. And they're not only suitable for kids, they're suitable for parents to play with their kids. And I think that's the most important thing, is that parents need to learn more themselves about what the content of video games are.
Julie, you're shaking your head.
I am shaking my head. Films aren't interactive. Video games are. Video games are addictive. They promote hatred, racism, sexism, and they reward violence. What kind of a message is that?
And the crowd goes wild.
She's completely right. I hate her already.
There's a proven
crowd.
link between behavioural violence and video game
No, there's
violence.
not.
In a
There is
recent
not.
study, listen, hear me out. In a recent,
I can't even hear that.
In a recent, thing that I have.
In a recent study, I don't have any specifics.
And she
because
even
it
sounds
doesn't
like American.
matter,
Like,
really, I mean, just
I'm American. I looked at American statistics, and the only one I found that said video games could heighten violent tendencies in kids who already have lots of violent tendencies.
They heighten adrenaline levels. They
the
don't heighten violence.
The thing that a lot of these studies that they have done basically say, like, okay, we had a kid not play a video game and then go and play with like a little beat up clown, and then we had them play the video game, and then we monitored the aggression playing with the beat up clown afterward. Did they hit it more? And it's like, it's still pretend violence in either case.
Yes, and so
there's no consequences either way.
You know what heightens violent tendencies in a violent kid? A baseball bat.
Yeah.
A baseball bat. Stuff like that.
Abuse
And
at home. That's awesome.
I looked up, I'm like, who the fuck is this woman? I've never heard of Julie Peasgood. It turns out she is
a bitch.
An actress.
Oh, that means she's qualified to
She's
talk
an
about
actress.
behavioral psychology.
She knows all about people then.
We were laughing at British names. She is the star of Hollyoaks, Holby City, and Cherry Pipe and the Lugworm Digger. That is the real title.
You made up that second
I did
one.
not. Cherry Pipe and the Lugworm Digger.
What the?
Is that a porn?
I don't know. Wow, look at that. Cherry Pipe and the Dirk Diggler. No, but my favorite thing that I got to see in her bio was a voice acting role in 2000's Martian Gothic Unification, an M-rated game on the PC and PlayStation.
Really?
Oh my
I remember that game
goodness!
coming out for PlayStation.
Oh my goodness! Is this the? Wait, let me go back.
Did you just do journalism?
Let me just.
Racism, sexism,
Was that a
and
games
they,
journalism?
video games are addictive. They promote hatred, racism, sexism, and they reward violence. What kind of a message is that?
That clearly explains why 8 million people are playing Farmville every freaking day.
Glad you could cast that pay. Were you just acting?
Yeah.
Were you? Okay.
Acting!
Okay. I can't recommend. We're gonna embed a link to that on the TalkRadar 94 page.
Don't suppose you have any clips of her doing voice acting.
I looked for it. You got it would surprise you, but Martian Gothic Unification doesn't have a lot of fans.
That game was a flash.
I remember that game.
I might have that.
She,
Dude, I'm not kidding. If we can get that, like, I would love to just post a quick thing. It's like, this lady's also wrong.
No, she's Hippocrotamus.
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 Wow, is that a Pokemon?
I was gonna say it evolves into Hippocrotamus.
Should be. You guys, let's go. You want to go pee again, and we'll come back and we'll talk about some game deals and some nerdy stories and some new users and community.
Let's do it. Here's some Martian Gothic. Found some YouTube videos.
Hey, it's TalkRadar. As if you weren't already listening.
The iTunes reviews are in.
Twishart says, a wonderfully pungent gaming cluster shard.
Kyrian BC says,
Spawned from the heavens, absolute brilliance on so many levels.
Melzul says,
Pants-crappingly hilarious. And Game Dad says,
the constant belching and F-bombs make the podcast feel immature.
Get over here!
TalkRadar for the win.
hurry on, hurry up, but I'm waiting for you. I must go slow, I must not think bad thoughts. When is this world coming to? Both sides are right, let both sides murder. I give up. Why can't they? I must not think bad thoughts. I must not think bad thoughts.
Lot of stuff to read. TalkRadar 94, segment 3.3, not TalkRadar 97. You misread that. What are we looking at? Oh, I needed to plug this. I forgot completely. We're not going to be at PAX East, unfortunately. But you know who is?
Palette Swap Ninja?
Palette Swap Ninja is going to be
correct.
there. Dan Amrick and Jude from Palette Swap Ninja are going to be there. Meeting and eating, I think. I think they're meeting for lunch.
Yeah.
Better than beating and eating, I guess.
Which, if you haven't met Dan before, and I sincerely doubt that's the case, Dan is awesome. Dan is the sweetest man alive.
He may in fact be.
Mm-hmm. And if you message him on Twitter, he's a giant knack for remembering who you are.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that in some of the nerdiest stories, but before we get to there, I'll say Rock Band this week is barf. I drink too much. Jesus, Tyler Wilde wasn't here to drink all the booze. Ace Frehley, goodness, Little Fish pack out. Carrie Underwood, a single song, but best of all, X. X is out on Rock Band, including Los Angeles, The Hungry Wolf, and what you're hearing now is I Must Not Think Bad Thoughts. X. Fine, game deals. That's Third Nothing and No One. X is awesome, though.
Brett likes Hungry Like the Wolf.
It's The Hungry Wolf. Not Duran.
Not the same.
What are you buying? What are you buying? Let's get through these. Spring Fever is kicked off in PSN, and the highlight being Everyday Shooter is $4.99. Probably one of my favorite games ever.
I love that game.
Favorite games on that entire PSN platform. Everyday Shooter.
Don't buy that game. Burn your PS3. You don't need it.
Amazon's got a buy two get one special on 360 Platinum Hits. Buy two get one free. Also, Amazon has Resistance Retribution. Michael.
PSP.
Good shit.
Yeah, pretty good.
PSP $10.80.
Nice.
$10.
Well worth it.
That's on PSP, right?
On PSP.
Yeah, I don't care.
At the official Microsoft store, you buy the Final Fantasy 13 250 gig 360, and you get one of the following games for free: Assassin's Creed 2, Dragon's Age Origins, Resident Evil 5, Left 4 Dead 2, or Modern Warfare 2. Same
All
price.
Good.
Same price. Resident Evil 5's a little, that game's like $14.
That's the 8 out of the bunch, isn't it?
Yeah, but the rest of it, Jesus Christ, yeah, really good deals. I mean, I wanted to say the Left 4 Dead 2 deal on Steam. That's a midweek deal. What was it, like $25?
Half price, whatever.
Jesus, always watch Steam. And read GamesRadar. Now we can actually tell you when game deals are happening immediately.
There's a deal of the day now from Tyler and Got It.
Mm-hmm. That's not quite as good as buy every THQ game ever for $5.
Yeah.
It was a couple weeks ago, but it's up there.
Newegg has Metro 2033 for 360, $42.99. Not a bad price. Walmart has Dante's Inferno 360 and PS3 $37.54. Apparently, GameStop is having a game day sale this Friday, March 26th. When you're hearing this,
wait, so that's game day?
What?
Friday 26th is game day?
Evidently. Resident Evil 4 Wii $14.99 for 360. You've got Left 4 Dead 2 $39.99. Quantum of Solace is probably less than $15. It's all speculative. It's all these weird rumors. I don't know where they're from. Bayonetta $39.99. Good shit. PS3, you got Heavenly Sword $29.99. One of my favorite PS3 exclusives. Also, Metal Gear Solid 4, Fallout 3, and Disgaea 3 on PS3 for under $20. GameFly has a giant used game sale going on right now. Ghostbusters is $9.99 on the 360, $12.99 on PS3. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, $9.99 on 360, $14.99 on PS3. Don't blame me. Red Faction Guerrilla, $11.99 on 360, $14.99 on PS3. Yeah, PS3 only. X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Ugh.
What?
Oh wait, no, I was thinking of X-Men the official game.
No.
Wait for the price.
That's
Wait
a
for
bit
the price.
old. That's a bit old.
The good one, $14.99.
Ugh.
What?
That's $5 too much.
For the new Wolverine game.
Yes.
Really?
The old Wolverine
chop
game.
dudes apart?
Yeah.
All right. BlazBlue Calamity Trigger $24.99. This is all used with free shipping. 360 only on GameFly. Halo ODST, $19.99. Dead Space, $14.99. Star Ocean: The Last Hope, $17.99. Brutal Legend, $14.99. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, $14.99, as well as Prototype.
Man, I forgot all about Ultimate Alliance 2.
Yeah.
That must have just disappeared.
Take my advice, do as I say, save a little money for a rainy day.
What are you?
Yes. We ask a question of the week every week here at GamesRadar.
We sure do. So we're now in the community segment.
We are in the community segment. Balls deep in the community segment.
Wow, that was fast.
What's your nerdiest moment? Was it last week's question of the week? And good God, were these fun to read. Like, the whole thread is fun to read. It was very hard to get through. This took like an hour just to narrow it down to you guys.
All takes place in GamesRadar.com/forums.
This is all true.
That's where you got to go
Mhm.
to read.
Mhm.
Well done.
Yeah, this used to be Brett's gig, so I never remember to say GamesRadar forums. Ever.
Good job, Brett.
Well,
ever. But if you're looking for GamesRadar forums, I recommend GamesRadar forums.
Yeah.
They're probably the best GamesRadar forums out there.
Seriously.
Place to find them.
Not the G Arcade. Yeah, I miss them too. G Arcade. You did not know about G Arcade? They spun off from the UK forums, and they're now G Arcade, and they have a nice little remembrance thread of the war we had when.
What was the forums that spun off of the GamesRadar forums in the US? What were they called? Remember them?
Oh, there's a couple of them.
Leap Planet was one.
Leap Planet. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
We are alienating people left and right. Yeah. But the people who did come here to sign up for Question of the Week, Bloody Shadow, sorry, your nerdiest moment was just cool. Girlfriend blowing you while you're playing a game? Not nerdy.
Yeah,
that's the nerdiest moment.
That's like anti-nerdy.
Yes.
That's like justifying all
That's
that.
like my nerdiest moment is when I was playing football.
My nerdiest moment.
When I was parachuting in Vietnam, killing men with my eyes.
My biggest weakness
just by
is
looking
I'm
at them.
too awesome.
Sometimes I work too hard.
Does anybody
Do I get the job?
Does anybody want to take a stab at this forum name? Eric, look at this real quick.
Oh yeah, like my degree in
This
reading
fella.
is going to help me.
Extopolopomotamus?
Another Pokemon name. Yeah. Yeah, I think you said it right.
No, I did not.
Stopalopomotamus.
I was in 8th grade, and I was talking to a friend about Pokemon. Gold and Silver had just come out a couple of weeks ago. We were insanely deep into it, and my science teacher was well known for blaring music before class had started. So naturally, we had to talk loud over the music to hear one another. He also had a knack for turning off the music very suddenly. This was one of those times I was talking to my friend about what I had done in the game, bragging about how I beat the gym leaders, and the music shut off. The entire class of 30 kids heard me shout about Pokemon and how I just beaten Whitney with her stupid Miltank.
I just did that last night in the remake.
That Miltank was an absolute monster.
10 years later. That's great.
This may or may not be bullshit, but it's good enough to read. Jagged Blurry Octopus. While my girlfriend was over, I was playing Mass Effect 2. I'd been playing for 14 hours straight, and I had set up a contraption which allowed me to do so. I was sitting on I was sitting on a bucket already half filled with shit and whiz, and I had blocked my nose. She came over, not aware I was sitting on top of a bucket full of my own feces, and she was overcome by the smell. Here were her exact words: "I'll leave now." I was now blurry-eyed and so concentrated on killing mercs that I acknowledged that. Okay. She got so mad that I was focusing more on playing Mass Effect 2 than on her. She kicked the bucket upon which I was sitting, causing me to fall into my own shit. She broke up with me. Apparently, it was our 5-month anniversary. That is the only thing that lends like a tiny bit of credence to that story.
Right.
Zant666 had a story of pissing his pants while playing Uncharted 2, just trying not to go to the bathroom, which was way more realistic. What's that?
Does your controller not have a pause button?
Yeah,
Mine does.
No time for a pause button. I have done this 24, 34-hour game marathons. I resented having to use the bathroom.
Yeah. But it's still one of those necessary things that you have to do to survive.
I hate it. I hate eating. I hate having to eat. And I hate having...
separates us from the
only thing that I like to acknowledge when I'm doing in the middle of these game marathons is smoking, because that's the only thing I can do during. And
because that's the only thing that can actually kill you.
Not
right? Eating,
actually
sleeping.
kill me, but it's the one thing I can guarantee is done within the time something loads. I can't guarantee I'll be done in the bathroom.
Really?
Sometimes you have an accident.
You might do it differently than me.
No, I got a dick like a fire hose. Sometimes it goes off like a sprinkler. Smegma Insanity.
Sometimes you just want to take your time, man.
Smegma Insanity. Has anybody here ever played Kirby Canvas Cars?
Yes.
Hey, come on.
It's a great game.
I know. I agree.
That was one of the first games that was legit on the GBA.
The way it was a launch game, right?
It came out several months after the DS launched.
Got it.
Yes, I'm sorry. I said GBA.
Aren't there any good games?
Yeah, it was
Man,
the first
that game,
actual game.
Man, that game rocked. Anyway, it's been a good deal of the morning playing the mini game where you had to race against King DDD. And I was about to miss my bus. I just wanted to run to my stop before my bus came, but I really felt like I had to beat this game. It was on hard mode, but I was about to beat the fat fucking penguin. I grew more and more relaxed as I neared the finish line and just took my eyes off the screen for 1 second to look outside the window to see if I'd missed the bus yet. Right at that moment, the coontie, I'll say. Coontie.
That's an African bird, I understand.
Coontie birds. Coontie bird just cut off in front of me to beat me to the finish. I was in such shock and rage, I snapped my DS in half.
Wow. Oh, Jesus.
As in, I split the thing apart. At this second, my bus came by, and I didn't have time to think about my now shattered DS. As I took my seat on the bus, the fact that my precious DS was now sitting unusable in my bedroom because I got so angry over a stupid fucking baby game sank in. I burst into tears uncontrollably and generated some attention. The guy across from me asked what was wrong, and I couldn't just tell him that I was crying over a broken DS. I felt like such a nerd, and thinking about it this day still makes me cringe.
Oh, that's beautiful stuff.
It is. Al Jolson, one of our favorites, who rarely posts anything real and not about blackface. One of the nerdiest moments of my life happened recently when I had to explain to my brand new girlfriend why my text message alert was Brett2D2 and my Facebook vanity URL is facebook.com/smells-like-pizza.
Wow.
I told her about the show and let her listen to an old episode I had on my iPod. She absolutely hates it, but she still puts up with me, so I guess it could have been worse. Promenation, I don't know. How's getting first place in a citywide Harry Potter trivia contest?
Jesus.
Not only that, but it wasn't even on the main books. It was the extended universe Quidditch throughout the ages and magical beasts and where to find them.
Oh my God.
They had a 2-question wrong method to kicking people out. I never missed one.
Wow.
Then a few years later, I wore a periodic table of elements shirt to a state standardized science test.
Jesus.
I was told I would zip my jacket and or take my shirt off.
That's a cheat sheet in some circles, isn't it?
They would have replaced it anyway, so I zipped. Also, the radioactive ones glow in the dark. Peace.
Wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I did win a Final Fantasy trivia contest at E3. No, nothing.
I remember that. I just don't remember the exact story.
Yeah, it was Square was like, "Hey, we're gonna have a Final Fantasy trivia contest." A bunch of people gathered around a booth, and I'm like, "I got this." And I won a poster for Final Fantasy 11, which is basically like
we don't like.
Wait, why am
I a fan of this stupid series again?
Angry Scotsman says, I was in class, a life skills class in high school, one of those don't do drugs and be yourself classes. This is mandatory. So they showed us a video where, I hope, a made-up kid used his dad's credit card to buy WoW, parentheses, cleverly disguised as Worlds of Warfare. Thanks, lawyers.
That's totally different.
Sold his dad's credit card to buy WoW golden weapons, and it got stolen or something, and the kid was confused. The kid was clearly dropped on his head or something, and that's not the point. The teacher then inquired as to whether Worlds of Warfare was a real thing, and someone in my class said that it was probably just that World of Warcraft game in disguise. My teacher asked if anyone had actually played it, and I foolishly raised my hand, the only one in a room of 25 teenagers. Unfortunately, the nerd inside me got the better of me. I spent the remainder of the lesson, an impressive 20 minutes, talking in what I would call too much detail about World of Warcraft and its various nuances. I discussed the currency, the auction house, players, groups, guilds, you name it. At least I tried over the laughter. Sinsloth had a great entry because his first word was Spock. Nerdiest moment. It was good shit. Swirly McCoy's nerdiest moment ever happened the other day. Can I say the F word if I'm quoting somebody?
Yeah.
All right. I'm in a room with my girlfriend's
like
family.
You don't say it normally.
I don't usually.
Yeah, you do.
Different
I do
F
not.
word, I'm guessing, right?
One of
Fuck you.
which her uncle's family who's in the army. Anyhow, the news is on TV and there's footage of soldiers in Iraq. I see this one guy holding an M16 assault rifle with a grenade launcher, and I instinctively yelled, "What a fag using a noob tube." Then I realized every pair of eyes in the room was on me, angrily. That's it, wedding off. Oh, and there's that, and I actually swerved to avoid a banana while driving to work. Thanks a lot, Mario Kart. Irish Ranger, I love this.
Wow, you got a ton of these.
I do. My more complicated moment would be my more complicated nerdy moment would be a snapshot of my life right now. I have no friends and no real interest in making any. I work 50 hours a week. I share a house with my sister and her 2 kids, and a third of my income goes to support them. I know a girl who would be at my house and naked in my bed in 30 minutes with only a phone call, but I feel like I'm not good enough for her. And to top it all off, I've recently decided to embark on a journey to play as many RPGs as possible. How's that for a nerdy moment?
You know what? If you're willing to give up some of your income to support your sister and your kids, you're good enough for the girl.
Dork.
That's
Dork.
my theory.
That's some dumb shit right there.
Sorry, that was my feel-good moment.
So,
Done.
no, I took it away.
Okay.
I took it away. Swatted at the ground. I really like this guy's forum handle. He's new. Video Games Radar.
Hey, creative.
Let's buy that URL immediately. I suppose this would make me a video game industry nerd, because in 5th grade, yes, 5th grade, some 2 or 3 years, oh, you're so young, I was requested to do a writing assignment on a person I admired. Can you guess who I chose? Anybody?
I picked Chris Antista.
Miyamoto.
2 or 3 years ago.
It didn't exist 2 or 3 years ago.
Miyamoto
No, Brett,
2 or 3
sorry.
years ago?
No, ooh, Michael, no. Not a person in the industry.
Mario.
No. Close.
Kojima.
That would be your favorite Kotick apologist, Dan Amrich.
What?
Dan Amrich. He plays guitars in video games, as do I, so in my youthful ignorance, I thought he was the coolest connection ever. P.S. I'm new to the forums and been listening to TalkRadar too, hence the reference in the username. Thank you. Oh, and the last one from the established dudes that I have, because I really wanted as many of these as possible. I'm sure, like, everybody here is tired and drunk. Sorry. Alpine Guy. Nerdiest moment. So a few months ago, I stayed up for 24 hours straight so I could play online with these journalist types from some website I was really into at the time. Thank you, Alpine Guy.
I hope he wants to still be in that website in August.
New users.
Oh, we don't.
What?
We're not going to say our own nerdiest moments?
Well, we did last week.
Oh, we did.
Do you have one?
I do have one.
Go for it.
But it's really outdated. This comes from the time before video games had in-game maps. So I was playing this game called The Bard's Tale. People might have heard of it. It's a dungeon crawler, right? But they didn't have maps, but I needed one. So I drew my own maps on graph paper that I specifically bought for this purpose. And graphed them out on 10 by 10 grids, just like Dungeons & Dragons maps. And that's what's unique, because I didn't want my maps to get wrinkled or bent or otherwise mangled. So I kept them in my hardbound Dungeons & Dragons books.
I mean,
and then I hit puberty and everything changed.
No. All right,
you can cut that. I just wanted.
No.
I thought that's where we were going to go.
You had
So I
to
was
share
trying
yours.
to jump
New users this week. Twinkle Tits McGee. He said Gran Turismo 3. That was an original entry. I had this one down from. Also, sort of smells like bullshit, but I like it anyway. I am not a talking pony. New user. While buying Persona 3. I found that I didn't have enough money to pay for it. I got so damn excited about the game, and to be thwarted at the last second made me feel like crying. Walking up to the store clerk, I offered a meager pile of coins and notes and asked if I could please have a discount. The man looked at me for a few seconds before saying, "Okay, man, just this once." At this point in my life, I was so happy I reached across the counter and hugged him. One of the happiest days of my life. New user Catwood. While standing in line for a midnight opening at a GameStop for GTA 4, I nearly got into a fist fight with one of the GameStop employees. He was walking up and down the line, line of people, asking them trivia questions about GTA and handing out really shitty prizes. When he asked, "What's the girl's name whom you rescued from a fire in the 3rd GTA?" I told him that wasn't in the 3rd GTA, it was San Andreas. He then insisted that San Andreas was GTA 3, and we nearly came to blows before people separated us.
Yeah, not GTA 3. That's the first one.
Yes.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
Clearly indicated by the Roman numeral 3 in the title.
See, Michael's with you. We would have been right behind you in the fight.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I would have been your Fang or Waka throwing bowls.
By the way, dude, you're fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was only 3 of them.
To top it all off, no one else in line agreed with me, and I remained that creepy lunatic who no one would talk to for the rest of the night.
God.
I hate GameStop employees.
I have to admit, I've had very few positive run-ins.
Yeah.
Anarchy Zombie, just to shorten his story, the girl who liked him snuck up on him while he was playing Pokemon, yelling Pokemon, and then proceeded to make fun of him about playing Pokemon. Terrible. Kamikaze 4, new user, Fat Rat, Zaj 1120, Tickle Mimic, Random Word Combination, Freezy 42, Cop 1, Deformed Orange, Burp Locker. It's really good. And wait, I do have a successful way of saying Burp Locker. There you go. And Tyler Weil isn't here to appreciate this. Bolo is the light. This has slowly become the time where I turn the station over to Brett Elston.
Yeah, I'm going to wake up here.
And he's going to play some phone calls from you, but that usually comes with music. I dare you to change it. Go!
Clearly.
Beat you, motherfucker!
I was busy.
That was a good race. I've never seen someone circle the building in such a short time.
Did you guys like the Batteries Not Included soundtrack? Oh,
is that what this is?
Yeah. Main theme from Batteries Not Included.
I watched that again, like on Netflix. It's still good.
Really good, yo.
It's still good. Where is it on this?
Bobby. It says main title.
Oh God, that's really long.
All right.
Well, I have to load the fucking sounds, so it's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a while. The file's called Dumb Broad.
Sorry.
Who says broad?
I did not like her. I was trying not to say cunt. Totally.
All right. So, communities. Well, I guess we're in the middle of the community segment, but phone calls.
Woo!
From the TalkRadar hotline, which is 1-877-404-LEAT-1337. So 404-1337. Extension 327 for DAR. So, again, there's so many phone calls coming through that thing, like, I can't keep up with them at all, which is good. I'd rather have an excess than a dearth.
Good word. Good vocabulary.
Hey, boy.
A lack of them. So definitely keep calling. I mean, I'm trying to get through this backlog, but I mean, we're very busy. So I try to get through as many, blah, blah, blah. Kicking it off this week from Chris Antista, likes little boys.
Hey.
He wanted to kick it off with...
they are your friends.
This one.
Hey, TalkRadar crew. This is Silas, also known as Chris Antista likes little boys on the forums, with a total of 10 posts. Anyway, I would just like to extend a heartily hate week. Fuck you to all of you.
Hi.
If you get this after hate week, I'm so sorry.
He really does hate us. He doesn't participate much. His name makes fun of me, and he calls to say "fuck you" on Hate Week.
And then
he did apologize.
I also enjoyed this one from Schnazzy One.
Hey, TalkRadar!
Yay!
Is that the whole call?
No, was that a call, or did he yell at us out of a window?
It's still going. He's still going.
He might be drowning.
Hang on. Hang on.
Help me talk.
Hang on.
Send your mustache.
That's a different guy.
He'll be in the
Send
office.
the fire truck.
All right, here we go.
This is Brandon, username Snazzy1. I'm totally driving while I'm leaving you this message. It's the most dangerous message in podcast.
Snazzy One, never disappoints.
I do like the ending.
That was
so
that was good.
Guessing he's dead.
Yeah.
Moving.
It sounds like he drove off the road there.
Moving on. Whoa!
What the fuck was that?
Wrong button.
Something bad happened.
What'd you do to
Wait,
my
was that the
sounds?
right button?
That was the boo. Sorry. All right, moving on. Michael, you'll enjoy this one.
Will I?
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Marvin out of Mesa, Arizona, and I just wanted to confirm with Mr. Raparez that the Spaniards are masters of using the word shit and everything. Just, my dad used to say, esa mierda this, esa mierda that. I don't know. I'm from Nicaragua, so I say mierda. I don't know what caga or whatever Raparez said.
Me cago is the polite form.
Ah, well, he has more.
Yeah, my dad would say anything from cerra esa mierda, abrí esa mierda, dame esa mierda, chinga esa mierda, come esa mierda, y si no haces esa mierda, te doy una mierda. It's just ridiculous.
So, he's agreeing with you.
I'm with him there.
Why does everybody call up to agree with Michael?
I think the only one
agreeable.
I think the only one I recognized was "eat my shit." I guess.
Yeah, I mean, come esa mierda. I think it was.
Right.
It's like eat that shit. Just to clarify, mierda is shit.
Mierda.
Cago is the verb form of caca, which is poop.
Shitty.
Yeah, it's just basically when you say me cago.
Did you say
and
there's a formal
something, it's like I shit on something.
A formal.
I said it's the polite form.
There's not a formal
There's
shit?
a polite form?
Well, it's like saying
it's
poop
more
versus
yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Oh,
is the polite form.
Which one would
shit.
I use when talking to Obama?
Definitely cago.
You're being dishonest.
That depends on if you're right when I live, Michael.
Depends on if you're talking to Obama or just Joe
You're
Biden
taking
standing
my
in front
health
of
care.
Obama.
Are you writing for Fox News?
And let me see here. I got Hate Week. I got Driving. This one's for Chris.
Ooh.
Hey guys, it's Catwood from the forums, formerly the Slacker156.
Oh, he changed his name.
Wait,
new.
What's that? The Domino's?
Oh, God.
Someone order Pizza Hut?
God.
No,
damn.
it's my hero, Chris Antista, with more dick jokes.
But never ends.
Hang on, he's not done.
Hey, dude, I'm glad you turned 30 before me. Now it's not going to hurt as bad in a couple of years. Keep up the good work, guys. The show kicks ass. Best podcast ever.
All right, there you.
All right.
I love you.
There was a
again.
time in my life when I actually did smell like pizza.
Really?
Yeah,
When you worked at a pizza joint.
Well, I used to manage a Papa John's, and I, make 300 pepperoni pizzas a day. You start to stink like it.
Instead of a womb, I grew up in an oven. Instead of a doctor, I had a guy with a giant hat who said, "He's a Don!" And he took me out, and I'm boring everybody with that.
Oh!
There we go.
No, that was good.
Why so loud? Go, move on.
I can't find the various whistle noises and all the fun ones.
It usually has the term comedy, the word comedy in front of it. There you go.
It works.
Are you play the one of that guy who sounded completely messed up at 4 a.m.?
Oh, this guy?
Hey, TalkRadar!
No, not that one. The dude who sounded like suicidal.
That's this guy.
Woo! This is Brandon, username Snazzy1. I'm totally driving while I'm leaving you this message.
I heard that one.
I know. Okay, last one is from SSJ4 Raditz.
Hey, I love that guy.
Hey guys, this is Ken, SSJ4 Raditz in the forums. I was just thinking about that top 7 games based on books that Carolyn did a couple months ago. Just looking up in anticipation of Metro 2033. And I was wondering, what games would you like to see that would be based on books?
Shit, that's a good question.
Games based on books. Honestly, sadly, one of mine is the one that was in the article, which is Dune. I think Dune's a great universe. It's very underused.
Which has already been in 2 games.
Yeah, it's already been in games and it's in the list, but it's like Dune is such a rich, deep universe. Like, why it's not being just run through like Star Wars? I mean, there's just as much there. Only
Because
Dune is
it's a shitty movie. That's
only
why.
Dune is actually better than Star Wars in almost every measurable way I think that exists. But that's me.
Well, don't everybody stand and look at me.
That makes a noise.
Yeah.
An imperceptible noise.
Oh, it's perceptible.
Now all you gotta do is swing a fat bat into some fat ass.
Damn it! Is that loud for everyone? All right.
It's a little loud because I have to keep turning it up because the phone calls are quiet.
Well, I would like to
sounds
say,
like a good question of the week.
I would like to see.
Did any? Oh,
Kurt Vonnegut's Sirens of Titan.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking?
A book made into a fucking game.
Right.
What, did we forget what we were talking about
I didn't
1 second
expect you
ago?
to give me an actual book name that
Yeah,
wasn't like
Sirens of Titan.
All right,
It ends on fucking
Mr.
Titan,
Lit
the only habitable habitable planet on this goddamn galaxy.
Technically, it's not a planet. It's a
moon.
moon.
You shit fuck. I'm aware of that. But you know what doesn't exist? The dino-fantastic infibulum, which is also in the book, which allows you to traverse space and time. Wait, there's something important. Like, important. Look, there's pathos. Pathos. But just one more thing, if I could say just one more thing.
Yeah.
Can you really?
Well, technically it traverses generations. No. All right. Okay, Michael is not amused. I've never got an angrier look at him this late in the fucking podcast. Whatever. Do Shy Fonzie. Do it.
It's not. I don't know what you getting this idea that I'm angry at you. I'm just looking at you while you're talking.
That sounds like Milton.
Yeah, it kind of does. I'm doing more Milton than Shy Fonzie. God damn it.
Shy Fonzie, you lost your only character.
I need
fuck! That happened.
See, I
need something to calibrate.
I thought that was high voice Shaq. I didn't catch that it was Shy Fonzie.
Oh yeah, okay.
So Michael,
I got one. You got a war. You got the chains. We got the. you got both the chains and the blades.
Yeah, that'd be cool, right? Please don't beat me up.
I wear my jacket out of imitation leather because I don't want to hurt a cow.
And also polite Fonzie, environmentally sound Fonzie,
green Fonzie.
I worry about my carbon footprint. Oh my god!
Oh my stomach hurts! Wow! All it took was a Final Fight references to reduce me to nothing.
Thank you.
So, Michael, any books you'd like to see as a game?
Anything by Lovecraft, really. I think there was one,
Wow, I don't know if
one
a
or
game-
two Call of Cthulhu games already, but they weren't really encompassing the whole mythos.
I
I'd
think
like to see Cthulhu actually show up in a game.
Like a game encompassing that mindset seems really difficult.
It would be kind of crazy. I want to
HP Warcraft?
play games that have twist endings that are all in italics.
It was a man!
Yeah, I want to see more casual racism.
But just the idea of the descriptions of Cthulhu to have it accurately represented in a game, it's I don't know that.
Wait.
Even God of War 3's Titan stuff is not
Yeah.
big enough and weird enough to do that justice.
Did you see that blog I sent around a while back with the Secret World, that new Funcom MMO? It's clearly taking a lot of cues from Lovecraft. I sent around a blog a while back that was like their secret blog. It's basically a guy who's chronicling the weirdness around this one particular town. It's Innsmouth basically, but they're definitely taking a lot of cues from Lovecraft.
Well,
Check it out.
It
might be for you.
Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth, I think, was pretty good, what I played. Alone in the Dark, the very first one, I think, was kind of on the right track. I'd like to see something more along those lines with, modern update, although I don't know that the, one haunted house formula is enough to sustain a modern game anymore.
Right.
That's kind of a cliche answer, though, so I'm going to just pull something out of my ass and say Chuck Palahniuk's Choke, since they made Fight Club into a game. Why not make the game about sex addiction and choking in restaurants?
That'd be kind of awesome. Fake lawsuits.
Yeah, absolutely. At
They
the
get a
end, the
lullaby.
hero, a cop gives him the Heimlich maneuver and he shits himself. That'd be great.
That's the sound of someone shooting
Hey,
himself.
Spoilers!
Hey, it's a good book.
I'm just gonna wait till Blizzard brings out HP StarCraft.
I would go with. Is it my turn? Yeah. Everyone else gone. I'm going to go with the outsider pick. If you've ever read any of the books, there's a series of books. They start with, I think it's called Clone Trooper. It's written by a guy named Stephen L. Kent, who used to be a video games journalist. And he has a whole series. I think there's 5 of them now. Rogue Clone and Clone Alliance and all this other stuff. But it's sci-fi books about a guy who is in a clone army. And the weird thing is, that series started because Steve wrote a short story for LucasArts about the clone army in Star Wars. And they rejected the short story, but he said, I really like the idea of this. So he just took all the Star Wars references out and has his own universe.
Oh, nice.
Clone army. This one dude happens to be a human in a clone army, and the clones don't know he's a human. They can't tell each other apart.
Stuck to the man.
So yeah, it's military action, but I think it makes some good video games. It's my vote. Buy it.
Chris is taking a picture of my desktop.
I'm taking a picture of Eric.
Oh, I'm just assuming you're fucking with my computer.
Oh, why would I do that?
Why wouldn't you?
Because you're you.
Deal him the knowledge.
So
never fuck with your computer.
All right. Question of the week. New one.
Attaboy. 77?
I don't know.
77? 78?
It's in GamesRadar.com/forums.
Both
TalkRadar
good years.
podcast. Question of the week this week. Answers will be read next week in the podcast. Taking this out, I started a daily Game Music of the Day article that I'm just going to post an MP3 every day. Please suffer through our video player that has the MP3 in it.
Later conversation.
Okay. That's a thing I hate.
What?
Our video player.
Video player.
We'll get through that.
We need a new one.
Yeah, we need a new one bad. But that's how I'm embedding the audio. So I'm just trying to pick one song a day, and then I don't know. This week it's only Wednesday, so I've only done 3. One of which was GoldenEye, one of which was Advance Wars DS, and one of which was Red Steel 2. And rather than overdose on Red Steel 2, I'd like to take us out with something from Advance Wars Dual Strike that I will pick a little later. So taking us out would be the credits to Advance Wars DS, which I really thought was oddly competent as a dance credits tune. I was not expecting it, especially coming out of the DS when the DS was still kind of a what? I'm used to Game Boy music coming out of a GBA speakers, and it was a really kind of like, hey, someone actually thought about a little an escalating ending music, but it is very dancey. So if you don't like that, then that's too bad.
Goes through hate week.
Hate week. What's a good sound to take us out with the hating?
It's up to you, sweetie.
Oh, how about this one?
What the hell? This game's all boring now. Yeah, where's all the fighting? Dude, screw this. Who wants to hit a dumb little ball around? Yeah, golf is stupid again.